So this was the follow-up. So she said, I wanted to be clear with you based on the DMs. This was not what the investigation section of the message was referenced to. It was in reference to the person saying ferret flipper and good crap your Kiwi farm page is booming.
That's right, chat. He's a furry fucker. And his Kiwi farm's thread is booming. It's PirateSoftware. A man...
Guys, I may go get myself a towel.
Oh no, what happened? Oh, it's like eating us. As the clip kept going. Wait, wait. Hold on a second. What did we miss?
Pirate.
Did he coom on himself? Why is he going to go get a towel? I was eating like a cream donut. Okay, never mind. It has nothing to do with the stream. Whatever. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway. PirateSoftware. The man, he's back. After, I think, 6 months of kind of laying low and not doing very much of anything. He's been outed again, caught, exposed in 5K, being a lawyer. Now, he said, and this is in relation to a game called of Ashes of Creation, that the mods were singling him out. Well, he didn't really say that. But they said that they weren't taking his claim seriously. Basically, he got a butt hurt because someone called him a ferret fucker, and they didn't get banned immediately on an MMO that is now going broke. So we're going to take a look at that today. We've also got Clavicular. Clavicular, my favorite lolcal of the year, who I think is going to do big things. He got arrested, and honestly, there's a lot of things he's done that probably deserve being arrested for. But what they got him on, I don't think he deserved to be caught on. But we'll take a look at that. We also have a dinosaur update. And a mysterious third topic I was going to talk about tonight got axed last minute. So you'll just have to wonder about what that was. But how's it going, chat? Make sure you hit the like on the stream. If we hit 100 likes, I will gift 5 free memberships. If you get the memberships, you get access to the Discord, and then you get all the special streams, the extra bonus content, like this one, where we were playing the fishing game last night. You know what I mean? If I was forced to, I feel like this is the most human one. Now, this is true. This is a true take. Acceptable. You know, I'm just saying if I was forced to, okay. But for the context of that, you'll have to join the Discord. Otherwise, you got to do it quick too. Before apparently you have to be an adult to use Discord now, which is a good move. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Totally hinged behavior. Yes, it is. Yes, it is indeed. All right. So PirateSoftware, he woke up to ashes of creation being shut down, and I can honestly say I'm not very surprised after this current phase on Steam. In January of 2025, the team at Intrepid was doing good work. There were bugs, performance issues, and moderation problems, but they communicated and handled things relatively well. Fast forward to the current phase on Steam and everything imploded. Tons of content that we reported as broken. But now what they're talking about being reported is actually just people trolling him. Was still unfixed even when it was extremely low-hanging fruit. The systems that were built on were developed in a weird directions. Well, that's a big talk for a man that hasn't finished his own first game. I mean, I guess Champions of Breakfast came out, so I guess that's the second game. Shartbound. The game that robbed me of my free time, and I fortunately got a Steam refund for. On top of that, moderation was basically non-existent, so players were routinely spouting racial slurs, threats, hate speech in global all day. I mean, it just sounds like a fun time. In any other games, these people would have been immediately banned. I went to bat for Intrepid many times. See, this is the you didn't know how good you had it. Now, PirateSoftware actually has a history of basically being a locust, moving from game to game to game. He plays MMOs. He plays a lot of MMOs. He goes to the MMO. He brings his cancerous community with him. Eventually, the entire community starts to hate him. He gets exposed as being a brainlet and just being overall very cancerous. And then he gets kicked out, laughingstock, and they have to move to another MMO. He's done this with World of Warcraft. He's done this with the June game. He's done this with now Ashes of Creation. From my understanding, his guild was so disliked on Ashes of Creation that people were hunting them down like the dogs that they are. And this is a big one that happened in Eve as well. He wanted to get special treatment from the devs. He didn't get it, and he threw a hissy fit. It's a pattern that replays itself over and over and over. It's very interesting to say. But it was kind of tricky to find the information about this one. Fortunately, the Kiwi Farms threads were quite useful for some of it, because it seems that a lot of it was removed from live stream fails. But there's a couple clips of this guy's at it. And there's the #1 A-logger of PirateSoftware that's going to break it all down for us, because all of this probably would have gone under the rug without anyone knowing about it. The June game. But you know that there's Eric July? No, you know the third June movie's coming out this year, isn't it? like God, June Messiah. Anyway, I'm getting completely just railed. This I don't know who this kid is. What is it? Jay Oddity. He clipped a few choice moments, which is where we got the furry fucker one. But everyone probably would have not noticed this if it wasn't for Pirate Software leaking the DMs like an absolute. Well, I don't have to say.
The problem that I had with Margaret in that situation is that she lacked humanity, man.
All right, she would love Margaret. Now, Margaret is one of the game developers and or community devs that was responsible for handling Pirate Software's. Basically, she was Pirate Software's personal retard that he would communicate in Discord and try and get her to ban people that were talking about his Kiwi Farms thread, because Pirates is going to say later on that he thinks that this is an implied threat on his well-being. Now, here's a spoiler alert. If people are threatening you in video games, they're not real threats. They're just people trolling. Like, if you can't... Maybe you should play single-player games if you can't take it, okay? If you can't take the heat, get out of the ashes, I guess.
Margaret in that situation is that she lacked humanity, man.
She lacked humanity.
Like, if you have a policy at the company, and the policy is like, we don't ban people for doing these horrible things, we just give them a warning.
No, he's misrepresenting this entirely.
Like a human being. Instead,
because there was a queue of reports, and he's just super butthurt that everyone wasn't immediately banned permanently, because the idea is that they would get like a, if you had like a bunch of racial slurs coming out in, speaking of racial slurs, there's going to be racial slurs towards the end of this stream. They've got a spoiler alert for you. But basically the idea is if like someone crashes out and in 50 minutes they just start spamming the N-word, you don't give them a permanent ban for that, because maybe they're just seething and they're going to calm down and come to their senses or something.
Full corporate robot. That is not necessary to be that.
They rug pilled. Yeah, I mean that's part of the story as well. But like, I'm not too interested in Ash's creation, but that is true.
Why does my man Pirate think he's above? Like anybody else gets a corporate reply, why does Pirate think he deserves something not corporate?
Because he's a special baby. Didn't you know he worked for Blizzard? He's a big boy.
And then saying it's not necessary. Why does he think he deserves a non-corporate answer when everybody else would have got a corporate answer?
Well, the answer's right here, as Ike says. Don't you know he worked for Blizzard? Big
because
if true,
he's above
actually.
us. I mean...
Wait, I took down the Kiwi
Farms.
I don't think so. I hope not, because I rely on them
it's
quite
not
heavily. All right. So that gets into when he starts leaking these messages. Now, like I said, a lot of the posts were removed from live stream fails, but this is the Milkman, okay? Now, the Milkman, this guy is like... this guy is... He's definitely found a system that works for him. We've seen a few of his videos before. His name is Quinthero, and he is perhaps the most shameless purveyor of the "it's over, it's done, there's more." If you look at his thumbnails, they're absolutely hilarious, because he's either just leading into this so hard, but he just doesn't give a shit. Look at this. Turkey Tom, it's over. Insane update. He's done. He quit. He's done. It's bad. It's over. He's back. It's over. Like the saturation is like look at this one, like the Miskiff like thing. He's like cranks the saturation up to like 300 or something. Legal update. It's over. It's bad. It got worse. Wild response. Legal update. So like I don't know. Is this based or cringe? I think it's kind of funny because it's so slameless. Is it just slop? I don't know. We have to put a poll in the chat. I think. Let's see. Is this based? Let's see. We'll say cringe, based, or slop. I mean, all the content on the internet slop if you really think about it. All right, there you go. It's slop, people say. I don't know. Like, it's just so shameless. He just does the same thing over and over. Like the audacity of this guy to have the exact same thumbnail twice. Miskiff caught lying on stream. He lied. Miskiff has been lying about everything. He lied. He's back. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Wild update. He's suing. There's more. I think like this guy was like, we noticed this like the last time. Like I'm pretty sure the last time we talked about this was in July. Or was it in June? I don't remember. But, oh, here it is. The insane update. Insane update. More lies. He's mad. It got worse. He's done. Insane update. It got worse. It's over. He's over. Now, obviously, these are kind of a little bit clickbaity, but it seems to work out for him. I mean, let's have a look, see. He's getting like, what, 800,000 views a month? That's pretty good. That's a livable wage on YouTube, depending on the content at least. Slot Bros stay winning. But I mean, there's a little bit of like dishonesty here. Like it's over for Turkey Tom. It wasn't over for Turkey Tom. Turkey Tom is back to business as usual, and he's basically redeemed on all counts, which is very surprising. Like we talked about the Turkey Tom stuff as well. And I mean, we had to apologize because like, honestly, I was shocked. Now, all of the based women hating people in chat told me that I should have known from the start that Turkey Tom was a good boy, didn't do nothing. Turkey Tom is still very sus, but he's been downgraded from illegal to sussy boy, okay? He's still engaged in some sussy shit. But I'm actually flabbergasted by the amount of audacity that these lying hoes thought they could get away with him just like folding and not sharing the DMs. It doesn't make any sense. Don't believe all women. I mean, I learned my lesson, okay? It's never going to happen again, chat. I believe women once, never again. Never again. All right, so this is the milkman. Now, he's been milking the situation. I guess that's why he's got this hat on. He's got the DMs, though, so otherwise I would read them myself, but it just so happens that this man archived everything. So we got to give him his due, as I like his stream, and let's see what he has to say about Pirate Software is lying again.
Very recently, PirateSoftware has not been in the limelight for quite some time. As a matter of fact, for this month, I was planning to go back and take a little retrospective look on what had happened and leading up to where he is now. But I guess as they say, the cup runneth over.
Is he done? Or is it over? Tell us more.
Or in our instance, a milk carton, a glass bottle, if you will. PirateSoftware has been caught lying again. Now, within the last week here, Ashes of Creation, this huge soon-to-be WoW-killing MMORPG,
the only MMO that can kill WoW is WoW, but like it's so strange what WoW has become. It's evolved into like a different thing entirely, like the Disneyfication or whatever people want to call about it. It's so crazy. Like if you've ever played WoW back during like say Classic or Vanilla, Wrath of the Lich King, Burning Crusade, whatever, it used to be a game about like fantasy. Now it's a game about I don't know what. Like they've got dragons in wheelchairs. I'm not even joking. They literally have a dragon that's in a wheelchair in that game. And there was a very funny thing I heard the other day where someone said like you can get like you can buy like items for your house now and stuff. And there's like a house with a rainbow flag on it, like a pride flag. And someone's like, what the hell, is this supposed to be Warcraft? And then someone else commented and said like the craziest thing is that that's not even the gayest thing in this game anymore. It's all over WoW Bros. I don't know what to say. But anyway, Ashes of Creation. It was pretty some people were pretty hyped for it. I would love to get hyped for an MMO, but nothing looks good. Like, that's the thing. I'm having trouble finding a new game to play. I've really been searching. I want to try out Arc Raiders. I know that's not an MMO, but it looks fun. Although, I guess this game was suggested to me in Discord today. Burgling Gnomes, where you get to play as a gnome. Ooh. They've got 15,000 concurrent players. You play as a tiny gnome breaking into giant human houses to steal stuff, flood toilets, prank everything in sight, then escape in a tornado while dodging people, pets, and vacuums. Now, my question is here with a gnome game, is it multiplayer? You can see they're stealing underpants. And can someone play as the gnome and someone play as the human? Because I think that would be like the ultimate if we could have like, I don't know, like have Chat or Max playing as the human and I'm the gnome or something. So it's very realistic. Anyway, as you can tell, there's going to be a lot of detours in tonight's content, if you can call it that.
Was officially rug pulled. Here we can see one of the many headlines here. 2 days after promising it was still worthy of your investment, the most successful Kickstarter MMO ever was canceled and its team laid off. Now, admittedly,
I just for a moment though, like I'll go back to the MMO thing. I think the reason that none of the MMOs or games in general look good to me recently is they don't have an iconic art style. Should we turn on the gnomes, chat? Look, I tell you, if we hit the goal, which we have none, we'll turn on the gnomes for the rest of the stream. But yeah, like the thing with WoW is it has such an iconic art style, even though it's like not very good. It's not like high fidelity. It has like a certain style to it, like an ageless quality to it, which I think that nothing else has. Flame Eugenics came out today. Maybe I will. Is that about mewing? I don't know. We'll have to see.
A young Quaker myself here, at around 2020, I actually have a screenshot of it. When I had no bills to worry about and only disposable income, I put $250,000 to Ashes of Creation. I took it.
Get grifted. Imagine paying for a game before it's released. I will not trust any game until it's got a working product. Like, I mean, we'll talk about this more when the dinosaur segment comes up at the end of the stream, okay? But trust no bitch when it comes to like, no. Remember, no pre-orders. No pre-orders. No early access. You make a product first, and then I pay for it, okay? $250 dues. Gone. Wasted. Like tears in the rain.
screenshot earlier. So back in 2020, years ago, I've been a backer and I never touched the game. And now I'll never get to touch the game, and that $250 has been run away with. I think many of you longtime ex-fans of Pirate Software know that he was huge into Ashes of Creation. Matter of fact, he was one of the biggest, if not the biggest,
Harmful Opinions is playing eugenics. Oh, I get it. It's a play on the word eugenics. I see. I just picked it up now. It's about breeding cats. Okay, that sounds pretty funny, actually.
that was playing Ashes of Creation. He actually had a very huge guild on it that was a part of some drama. Don't pull the ocular. Oops, it was me.
God damn it, guys.
Now, this is actually very significant because, like, what happened here is basically Pirate Software fucked up again in a video game and got everyone killed and blamed everyone else. And this happened directly after the World of Warcraft hardcore incident where he stuffed up and basically got half the party killed due to his own cowardice as Gandalf fled from the Balrog back to Rivendell.
Oh, no, who pulled the ocular?
So one of you pulled the ocular. The lightning bolt I cast lightning bolt before that oculus appeared, and half the raid was in the back because they pulled the wrong pack. I'm not at fault there. I'm correct there for doing that. 100%.
But we're not even talking about that. Today, we are going to be talking about Margaret Crone.
Oh my goodness, I just saw something here.
100%.
But we're not even talking about that. Today, we are...
All right. So she looks, I don't know who this lady is. I mean, apart from being a nerdy mum, she got a pregnancy photo there, so very good for her. Okay, she looks kind of based. She is a cosplayer, though, so it's a bit sussy. But I believe she was a community manager, the one that was like I said, the private wrangler of Pirate Software. I just noticed this Diva cosplay right here. Let's talk about Overwatch for a second. Do you know what happened to Overwatch, chat? Overwatch 2 is such a failure that as of like a few days ago, they removed the 2 from Overwatch. Now it's just Overwatch again. And they're breaking the emergency button. They're breaking out the cat with a jetpack. It's literally called Jetpack Cat. He's a cat with a jetpack. They are so desperate because Marvel Rivals has come in there and basically usurp their entire like team shooter genre or whatever you classify Overwatch as. It's so funny to see them. After like they got rid of 6v6, they got rid of the loot boxes, they made Overwatch 2, they promised PvE, they promised a storyline. None of it delivered. 6v6 is back. Loot boxes are back. And now it's just Overwatch again. They've just completely erased it. It's like the Facebook meme where it's like, get rid of it's just the Overwatch now. But they do have a cat with a jetpack. I downloaded it briefly to have a look what it's like these days. And it's absolutely garbage. Like, it's just a cacophony of like lighted sound. And it's like actual boomer moment. And I used to be pretty good at Overwatch. Like I used to be in the top ranks when it first came out.
We're going to be talking about Margaret Crone. Margaret, I believe, was a community manager, and she was kind of talking with some of the other streamers. And of course, she lost her job in this whole debacle as well.
Well, everybody lost their job in the Ashes of Creation, but it is what it is.
It seems like from her posts, and we don't really have any evidence to support that she was aware that this was going on or that the CEO kind of just ran. Keep in mind, we don't.
Overwatch, Marvel Rivals has an infinite pool of characters to draw from. Overwatch has no chance. Well, the thing with Overwatch is that they literally don't have a chance because they can't lean into the Guna status. Because people would lie and tell you that's not a reason for a success in a game, but it absolutely is. And Marvel Rivals is willing to make attractive, cutie characters that people can make their waifus. And Overwatch is stuck because it's got a player base that insists on making their characters look uglier, and they're literally doing it right now. They just released these new characters, like there's like 3 different Asian chicks that look basically exactly the same, and they're gonna make one of them into older sister ugly because the lesbian voice actor got a ban on Twitter or some shit. So like even if they didn't have all the power of Marvel behind them, yeah, they were going to be doomed because they just can't embrace that sometimes people want to see cool characters. They want to see sexy women. They want to see attractive, strong men as well. It's just the way it is. It just do be like that.
Really know 100% what was going on behind closed doors. There's plenty of information to kind of go about this, but it's not the main point of this video. But I'm talking about Margaret Crone because her and Pirate Software had a bit of a back and forth. Now, to start this off, big shout out to Nephis QS here. They have the clip of Pirate Software that we're going to be using today to talk.
Oh, okay. So I guess I could have gone to this clip if I'd pre-planned this a little bit better. It keeps getting worse. So it looks like a very similar channel to, what was this guy's name again? To Quinn Thoreau.
About what he was lying about. Now, specifically, Pirate Software left a little bit before Ashes of Creation actually like self-imploded, and that had to do with a
because he got butthurt about being called a furry fucker, or a ferret fucker, I should say.
Lack of moderation on AOC, and this is what he had to say in regard to that.
And I was sending them stuff back and forth with this, and I was like, hey, we got a serious moderation problem on the server. And we started linking them things. There was a guy that was actually posting comments about Jewish people every day, all day, right?
Oy vey. Well, maybe they were nice comments.
He was just doing that every single day, all day. And the account would just change every single day. Guy never got banned. We had a guy that was saying that
Well, if the account is changing, he probably is getting banned. It's just he's dedicated to the grift of all day getting up, creating a new Ashes of Creation account, and then telling maybe the truth about a certain country in the Middle East.
he wanted to form a group to go kill all the LGBT people on the server. We got a screenshot of that, send it up to them.
All right. You cannot, like, the idea of harassing or hunting people down in a PvP video game is ridiculous. It's like, what do you mean? They're going to hunt them down in real life? No, they're not going to do that. Stop pretending. You're just trying to be oppressed. You're just trying to say that, like, this is like a big bad racist group is coming after you because you're a minority. It's not the case, okay? Come on now. Just stop it. Just stop it, Thor.
Guy never got banned. When I brought this up to them, what led me to quit the game was actually this response from Margaret, which I have right here. She wrote
All right.
this.
Good idea to share the DMs. Always a good idea. Let's see what he has to say.
To be transparent about what happened on our end, we investigated the reports you and others submitted. The messages in question occurred within a very short window, roughly a 15-minute span, and involved only a handful of posts. With some of this language use was inappropriate and unacceptable, our current moderation framework does not always move directly to permanent bans for first-time offenses of this nature.
This is like a good policy, though. So, like, it's a little bit hard to read. Obviously, Pirate's talking about it, but basically, the entire message reads, I'll read the first part. Hi, PirateSoftware. I can see how deeply disappointed you are, and I understand why this moment feels like a breaking point. So this is after Pirate crashed out. It was like, you're gonna ban them for talking about Kiwi Farms, then I'm fucking done, and you're not gonna have my support ever again. Look at, like, it's just like the hot chick that's like, you ain't gonna get touch this anymore. You can't handle it, since you're not gonna be a simp for me. That's basically what he was looking for. He wanted to be patted on the head and told he was a good boy, and that he was bringing so much to the community, and that he was the largest creator in the community, and he was basically putting them on the map. You've stood up for us publicly and put your own credibility on the... What credibility? On the line before. Because you believe in what we're building, losing that faith hurts. We don't take that lightly. To be transparent about what happened around, we investigated reports that you and others submitted. The messages in question occurred within a very short window, roughly a 15-minute window span, and involved only a handful of posts. While some of the language used was inappropriate and unacceptable, that means some of it was acceptable, Pirate. What parts were? Our current moderation framework does not always move directly to permanent bans the first time. I think that's a good idea. Like, 3-strike system is a pretty good system. It works for most people. Or you can just harden up and deal with it. Where were we? It was inappropriate and unacceptable. Our current moderation framework does not move directly to permanent bans for first-time offences of this nature. In many cases, we issue warnings first, with the expectation that behaviour can improve. If it doesn't, we escalate. The drama escalated.
I think it makes sense for minor infractions. You rage out, you crash out, fine. But when you have a dude that's sitting on the server praising Hitler every minute on the minute, or saying that he wants to get a group together to kill gay people, you probably should ban that person. I don't feel like that's a stretch.
It sounds like he was banned, though, because he's making a new account every day. So surely he was getting banned. And, like, what are you supposed to, like, there's a very easy solution to this is in a PvP game. You just hunt him down and kill him if you don't like what he's saying, okay? Just like he wants to hunt down and kill people he doesn't like what they're saying. The Watcher, 99, says, he's a ferret fucker. He fakes his voice. He had a second puberty, don't you know? That's the deepest law behind his deepest voice.
To ban that guy. Like, that's it. And those were the ones we were reporting, and they...
At some point I will buy a better mic for my stream instead of just like the basic bitch Yeti. And my voice will change because I'll add a compressor or something, and then people accuse me of doing the same thing, okay? Or maybe I'll just start taking, like, what is it, the stuff that Clavicular's on, the testosterone replacement therapy.
Didn't do it. This made me quit the game.
Now, I think the most people seeing that clip, yeah, makes sense. Like, yeah, those people should be banned. I agree with Pirate. That's not really a stretch. But the way
secret?
that Pirate
would... breast milk? That makes sense. That does make sense, actually. If you start going... Never mind. Let's forget about this.
Is framing this situation wasn't entirely, it wasn't truthful. Now here is following up. Margaret, I believe this is on her Facebook post, kind of similar to the Twitter post, similar to the Reddit. She kind of posted the same thing everywhere. People were mentioning Pirate's video. He made a full video, and that's where that clip is from. And this was her replying to people mentioning this. And she said, this was not what that message that was sent, that was shown on screen by Pirate here, was in reference to. It was in reference to someone calling him ferret fucker and good shit, your Kiwi Farms page is booming. We actioned the account, but did not permanently ban the person. Those...
I think it's fair. Like, mentioning Kiwi Farm should not be a bannable offense. Now, a call to violence, maybe, but, like, even then, if it's just like, let's go hunt down these people in PvP, I feel like that's like nothing. Calling someone a ferret fucker, I don't think that should be a bannable offense. I mean, it's just allegedly, right? It's just a banter. And it's like in a fantasy game, mate. Like you'd probably all sorts of fantasy slurs. Like that's the thing, is that in a fantasy world there would be fantasy slurs, like calling elves daggeriers, for example. Okay, that's fun. It adds to the immersion. Actually, I think it improves the quality. And maybe there's ferrets in this game, so it's hypothetical that he could be in this universe a ferret fucker, as in our own universe. Now, mentioning Kiwi Farms, it kind of breaks the fourth wall of the fantasy environment. So, maybe just give them a little like, hey, come on, don't. If they're in RP mode, just leave them alone or something. But I mean, this is just a case of him getting upset because people know where to look to find all the dirt about Maldavius Fig Tree, the furry. Well, you know.
Other folks saying super egregious things, like saying they wanted to kill LGBT people. We were banning, but we had a small team and we were working through banning them as we got through them in our queue. Another reply here saying, I know. I even sent Pirate Software a message with this information as well, and Kronos. So if they want to make it right...
I believe that Kronos is... I think it's Pirate's full-time janitor, if I remember the previous Pirate saga.
They can, but if they want to just take things out of context, nothing I can do other than state the facts from my perspective. Now, I'm inclined to believe Margaret is being a bit truthful here, being as, Pirate Software has in the past come after me by showing things out of context. Now, following up after this...
Oh my goodness, you mean Pirate's lying? Imagine that. Imagine that.
I'm going to be reading through the
it's his
direct...
account? I always heard it was his moderator. I mean, maybe he just roleplays as a moderator. That could be the case.
DMs between Margaret and Pirate Software, as they were leaked directly from Pirate Software himself. I want to explain that a little bit because I think this will help us understand why he released these, because it is very interesting that he did. He was talking about people that were saying some very unpleasant things, people going after LGBT people, just these heinous things. And he was saying that message was in response to that. And then Margaret had also been messaging on Reddit, things like that. And actually, I'll show Pirate talking about that. He says here, she posted this shit 8 minutes ago, and it's a reference to the message that she said in response to, I'm guessing you're standing by your statement that Pirate lied by omission about you in this video. Margaret says, no, I think there's misunderstanding on that. I want to talk to him and hopefully we can chat sometime, but dealing with not having a job and helping my coworkers get jobs. He says, we talked last night and I called her on her bullshit. So the idea that there is a misunderstanding is a
this is a shit piece of work. Like what's happening here is he's basically calling for backup in his private Discord. Speaking about backup, Manny with 1,400 renminbi, Indian currencies, rupees. How much is this? This is probably like $2. What do you mean buy a new camera? I get tricked because like these chats are usually colored based on how much they're worth, but the Indians can cheat the system. Rupees too. How much is this in US dollars? Oh, it's like $15. Okay, that's a big chat. Okay, never mind. All right, that's better than I thought it was. Thank you very much. Sorry, the greed is coming out. The greed copium. But yes, thank you very much. I'll work on getting a new camera as soon as I move out of this place. Okay. Olympic curling as well. Look, I don't want to be sidetracked here, but like my favorite Olympic event is coming up. The Winter Olympics is not very good in my opinion, but there's one event that they cannot miss. Anyway, back to the stream. Yes, the pot of greed. The pot of greed's coming out. Imagine just coping and seething to your private Discord and calling for help. Trying to own the libs in your own Discord. We talked last night and I called her out on her bullshit. So the idea there is a misunderstanding is a fucking lie. And she wants to talk? We already did. She is totally lying to save face.
Fucking lie, and she wants to talk. We already did. And then he's replying to another person that I'm not going to show names of here, saying she's totally lying to save face. And he says this is from Pirate's personal Ashes of Creation Discord. Like, you have to apply to get in, from my understanding. And an ex-fan of Pirate, after I guess reading through the leaked DMs, ended up leaking these messages. Following up after he posts the chat logs, he says that is the full unedited log of our interactions. Margaret has directly lied.
All right, let's see how she lied, Chad. Like, do you want to place your bets about how she lied?
Following up after that, he says, sick of people fucking lying. Sick of people fucking lying about shit like this at my expense. Misunderstanding my ass. Now, it seems like, which is strange, that he's also commenting...
Dark side code. Well, I did wage quit from playing the Isle. That is true. So the evolution is happening very slowly. I'm going to get those, like, the hexagons in the background. I actually think they look kind of all right.
Upset about the fact that she lied about talking to him. Now, admittedly, as a fellow terminally online individual myself, I figured, yeah, that it does seem a bit deceitful. But turns out in the real world, sometimes people are differentiating between messaging between two people versus actually speaking to another human being. Following up on that Reddit post I was mentioning earlier, someone had pointed out, didn't you just talk last night? Funny. She responds, yes, I did DM text him after I watched his video. What I meant by that is I want to talk to him someday, not type to him. I just don't have the spoons for that right now for obvious reasons. Now,
is this some Reddit terminology? What the fuck is spoons? I think I've heard this one time before, and I'm pretty sure it's only from Reddit. Anyway, let's see the private DMs.
now the moment you guys have been waiting for. Let's go through these DMs. It's going to start with their interaction from just a few days ago, and then it's going to cut down to the messages that they were talking about, they were exchanging, what Pirate is even referring to. Right before
No more Isle. We'll talk about that later when we get to the dinosaur segment of this stream, which I'll guess a spoiler alert for you, so a little bit of a teaser. I found a video that I've been wanting to watch for a long time. It's called Dinosaurs That Were Most Likely to Have Said the N-Word. We're going to find out if the Tyrannosaurus Rex is based or if it's cringe. There's no other stream this fits into. If I tried to do it on a Friday stream, BP would tell me it's lame and he would get me to stop watching the video. But now I have a forced captive audience. I'm going to force you to find out if the baryonyx is a real N.
Before we get into that, though, pretty please just subscribe. We're like 500 subs short of 100K. I want to fill that blank.
Look at this. When you say subscribe, there's YouTube button flashes now. That's like a little subliminal message they've got there. But I'm not going to subscribe. I liked the video, but I won't subscribe because I have to make a stand against these thumbnails. Not that mine are much better, but I think it's a little bit too much. It's a little bit over the top. It's a BS mental health term, I guess, the spoons, that gets abused when someone doesn't do what they want to do something. It's a... What? How about knives? They don't usually give a spoon. Okay, whatever.
Wall-ish area there with a silver play button, and thank you preemptively for everyone helping us get to that number. Also, if you're liking this video so far, want to get in front of more people, give the video a like, perchance a hype, and help us get some other people quanking it. That's what I'm calling it. We're the Quanker Nation. Come join the Discord if you're 18 up and like to play video games and talk drama. Shameless plug over. Based on what you are watching, and now let's get into the DMs. So starting off with Margaret. Hey, Pirate Software, I wanted to be clear with you based on what you quoted from our DM in your video here. This was not what that investigation section of the message was in reference to. It was in reference to the person saying ferret fucker and good shit, your Kiwi Farms page is booming.
Imagine being directly told by the community manager that people are calling you a ferret fucker.
Action to the account, but did not permanently ban that person. Now, I will say that makes sense. Calling someone a ferret fucker, I don't think that should immediately get you a ban. Probably should time you out, mute you, as well as referencing the Kiwi.
Should you ban people for that? Oh, I forgot to turn on the chat. There we go. If you think that furry fucker should be a bannable offense, press 1. If you think that it's just true, then press 2. And that it's just actually factually accurate.
Page, that's not something that they can really, like, okay, you're referencing a public website that exists. Continuing on, though, those other folks...
Examoon says, Pirate Software looks like someone that would fuck ferrets. You're on... That's a bold claim for... Anyway. I know you wouldn't do that to a ferret, but... Anyway, continuing.
Folks saying really like, okay, you're referencing a public website that exists. Continuing on, though, those other folks saying super egregious things like saying they wanted to kill LGBT people, we were banning, but we had a small team and we were working through banning them as we got through them in our queue. I just wanted to clear things up on the front because it seemed things got misunderstood. Pirate Software responds, hello. Your version of events in this message is not correct.
Excuse me, madam, that's not factually accurate, is it? On January 6th, he's got his book of grudges. Holy shit. Pirate Software is so fucking petty. Like, when someone calls me a name in a video game, I just move on. I just don't... he actually keeps a ledger of all of the reports that he sends in. And this behavior is repeated because he tried to pull the exact same thing when he had his World of Warcraft hardcore snafu. He was saying that they actually did ban over 2,000 people in his Twitch chat. 2,000 people. He's banned more people than most people have their all-time highs on live streams. But then he was also saying that anyone that was interacting with him was getting a personal ban from Blizzard. If you opened a trade window and put a cockroach like NPC pet that you can it's like a 50 silver like toy basically you get in the World of Warcraft game. People were giving him like free roaches. And he was like saying, good luck, your Blizzard account's going to get banned permanently. He records all of this. It's literally, we made the Death Note joke before, but it's actually Pirate Software's Death Note. He knows on January 6, 2026, heart attack for calling me a ferret fucker.
On January 6th, 2026, I reported Irish Kiwi and Avok to you for making...
Those damn Kiwis. Why is it always the Kiwis?
accusations that I sexually abused the ferrets at our rescue, and for claiming they were a part of Kiwi Farms, the hate group that organized swatting my home. They did this in-game, and screenshots of their messages were provided. On January 14th, I then messaged again stating that the players had not been banned in the provided ban wave and stated this was against the game's TOS.
Oh my god. You report someone, and then you add them as a friend so that you can track their progress, and then they're not banned 5 days later. How fucking petty. Like we joke about terminally online. Like, I consider myself a fairly online person. But imagine actually jannying and keeping note and keeping grudges of every single person you report because they said that you fuck ferrets. Who gives a shit?
Response was that not every report may result in a permanent ban, and the ban list only displayed characters that received a permanent ban. You further explained that your team was unable to handle the influx of tickets. I then stated to you again what Kiwi Farms is and that they were involved in swatting my home multiple times in 2020.
All right, now this is just absolute cope and trying to poison the well. Okay, now there are some people that use Kiwi Farms information in a naughty way. But this is against, like, swatting people is against the Kiwi Farms terms of service. It's basically a gossip forum website where people post information that they find publicly. Now, everyone thinks, oh, it's the big bad part of the... No, it's not, okay? Like, it's just not. It's just a gossip forum. There's even just... Half the website is talking about fat chicks. And I don't want to tell too much, but I know like a up-and-coming lolcow that hasn't hit the farms yet, that the girls are going to love, but I'm keeping that one to myself just now.
5. On January 14th, Kronos then provided an image showing the player Gooby stating that they wanted to form a group to kill LGBTQ players.
Well, I mean, if that's in the game, who gives a shit? Like, if you have a guild called, like, you know, Big Gay Owl or something in Ashes of Creation, and people go out on their way to, like, hunt you down in PvP, that's just gameplay. Like, you can't just go around in a PvP game and not expect people to hunt you down. It's just the way it's going to be. And yes, maybe they'll target you because they don't like the name of your guild, they don't like your tabards, they don't like the lisping messages that you leave in the DMs and the uwoos or whatever. I don't know, okay? Now, if he's talking about hunting down in real life, that's not going to fucking happen. Nobody's going to hunt you down in real life, except for, like, there's one Chinese guy that did it one time, okay? Every other time, it's just fake. It's bullshit. Just get over it. They're not real death threats. I'm sick and tired of gaming journalists saying they're getting death threats where people are just like go jump off a ledge or some shit. Like, it's ridiculous.
Your response to this was to contact local law enforcement, and that responses are delayed due to a small support team. You also...
Yes. If you really think there's a threat, call law enforcement. Don't report them to the video game so that you can try and assert some sort of power that you perceive to have from your legacy in the gaming industries. Like, that's just fucking true. Just call the cops if you think there's an actual threat.
Stated that you would look into escalating the tickets in the queue. In the next communication, I directly state that Avok, Irish Kiwi, and Gooby did not receive a ban or suspension. We could see them clocking hours on Steam for Ashes of Creation throughout all of this.
They're tracking the Steam hours? I mean, this is why I had to disable my Steam hours, because people started tracking my Steam hours too. And it's embarrassing to just know how many hours I got played on certain games. The real reason I had to disable my Steam hours is I couldn't let the chat know that I'm spending 15 minutes a day playing Skyrim for some reason.
Provided an image of the support team response to my ticket. Your response to this message was the one shown on stream. At no time did you ever state that an account was actioned in any way. You stated, while some language used was inappropriate and unacceptable, our current moderation framework does not always move directly to permanent bans for first-time offenses of this nature. The response was then discussed and highlighted on my video, and it was a direct refusal to commit to enforcing the TOS in a tangible way. I have a log of the entire conversation and can display it for you if necessary. What more do you want to discuss? Margaret response. Dude, I don't work there anymore. Before...
Excuse me, sir, this is a Wendy's. I don't work there anymore, Pirate. What do you want me to do? What more? What more do you want to discuss, you lying corporate slag? I don't work there anymore, Mr. PirateSoftware. Holy shit, it's over. It got worse as more.
I used to avoid talking about what actions were done per person, and I was being careful about what I said. I'm just telling you what the actions are now because I have nothing to lose. I don't have a job anymore. I wanted to be clear about what that one section was in reference to. That's all. Take it or don't. Pirate responds. Doesn't matter if you don't work there anymore. You stated...
Doesn't matter. I was called a ferret fucker. And you, when I needed you most, did not pick up the blade and defend the honor of PirateSoftware. Thor, second of his name, father of Blizzard's son. I mean, that does make sense, but you know what I'm getting at. You know what I'm getting at. He's so mad. He's so mad at this jobless woman. She's barefoot and pregnant in front of the fridge, or the oven, I guess.
One thing to us, and now a completely different thing in public.
Stand?
You've misrepresented the entire interaction you had with everyone in that conversation. The entire chat log shows what I said above is the actual course of events. Also, you weren't just clearing this up with me, you were spreading it online. And he shows the Facebook messages and also the, I believe the Twitter messages that she had been posting. And now we get into these leaked messages from PirateSoftware that should completely prove his timeline of events that he just outlined. This is Editor Quinthio, still in my garb because I figured I might have to do this. There was a lot.
All right, he's gonna say he's
in the description
reading a lot.
Stuff recorded to this start. We can have a fuck ton of reading, and I might be able to skim out.
He's tired of reading chat. It's too much.
A bit of it, but just want to let you guys know. Anyways, enjoy the video. Off to this start, we can actually see just a little bit in here. I have to assume this says ret and then hashtag, hashtag, hashtag. It looks like it's saying ferret fucker. Pirate says on January 6th, he does have the dates right. Reporting these to the website. Now, this is very clearly, it appears what he's referencing. Reporting these to the website. Any ETA on an actual in-game /report feature. And down here, he shows the message, good shit, your Kiwi Farms page is booming. This dude needs to be banned. That's a hate site that harasses content creators specifically to get them to off themselves.
That's a hate site. I mean, this should make you happy as a content. Well, I mean, not really, but you can't ban someone for saying a message, a whisper. A whisper is like a private DM, a private message. Good shit, your Kiwi Farms page is booming. That's a hate site that harasses. No, okay, well, hate site. I guess you could argue that Kiwi Farms is a hate site. I would say it's kind of the opposite because, I mean, people don't spend all day talking about someone they hate. It's kind of like a love-hate relationship, but like love and hate are kind of the two sides of the same coin. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Hate site, arguable. They harass content. No, it doesn't. I mean, that's against terms of service. Now, to some people that use the Kiwi Farms harass people, sure. I'm not going to pretend they don't. But more often than not is that people use the information that's publicly available but collated on the Kiwi Farms, and then they use that for like Turkey Tom style videos or just having a bit of a good honest fashion trolling. But specifically to get them to off themselves is a bold-faced liar, extra doubt. And also, like, I mean, this just goes to prove the exact reasons. It wasn't about any LBGT movement being hunted down in game or whatever. It was because he got curled, a ferret fucker, and because someone laughed about him having a big Kiwi Farms thread. I don't think not even sure how big his Kiwi Farms thread is. Like, I guess it's like a few thousand pages, right? Isn't it? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. It's not that active at the moment, I think. I mean, Pirate was up for lolcal of the year, but I mean, I was surprised though. I thought he wasn't going to make it to the final round, but I think he got quite a few votes. He's making a run for 2026. There's no way he's going to beat my boy Clavicular though. Like that's the only true winner of 2026.
This dude needs to be banned. That's a hate site that harasses content creators specifically to get them to off themselves. He sends a link to Kiwi Farms. This other
what's the over-under of Margaret Crone becoming an avid user of the Kiwi Farms and participating in the PirateSoftware thread? He's like, here you go. You can go directly there and just and just start participating yourself.
Person working, I'm assuming, with AOC and helping. Pirate says, what server? Lyneth NA. They go through confirming that. I sent this to our team. Pirate says tickets are in as well with these screenshots. A ton of people just don't report stuff due to the lack of a /report in game. Pirate says, any news on this? The player is still in game after multiple days. And for added context, Kiwi Farms is the group that organized.
How would he know this though? Like, because I believe there was a ban feature in the game. So how would you know that this person was doing this if you could not just see them like whispering you or messaging you? Maybe they're jumping up and down in front of your character. In that point, just go into the like Badlands or wherever the PvP zone is and get your boys to like gank him. It's that easy. Like in-game problems have in-game solutions in many cases. But like he's actually just like stalking this guy to see if he gets the punishment that he feels he deserves. It's unhinged. It's a video game, bro. I mean, people do get into MMOs pretty heavily. I mean, I did myself as well. But I was never this unhinged.
My being swatted 6 times in the last year, each of which has a police report attached and felony charges should they be caught. This isn't a small deal.
Yes, it is. It's a tiny detail. Now, being swatted, I think that people that swat you should get the same penalty as a serious attempt on your life or something, because that's what happens. Sometimes these SWAT teams show up, they shoot the dog or they shoot the person. Swatting is a bad thing to do, and I completely disavow it. But Kiwi Farms is not a swatting site.
says, I'm checking with the team. And then Margaret says, can you please put in a CS ticket? Then she adds, for context, customer support would need to investigate to decide actions for users. This is not something Adam does. In the meantime, please also block users they're messaging you and you are not wanting to get their messages. Pirate responds, I already have 3 times. She says, awesome, thanks. Toss me ticket numbers if you would like. Margaret says, thanks. We have a lot of tickets still getting through December during our break, so it'll take some time. It is January 8th and they are still working through the December tickets. So clearly they're quite backlogged here. Pirate now starts talking again on January 14th. As per the list of bans, the players I reported still have not been banned. As per their Steam pages, they are also still active in the game. Not only—
Why are you doing that? Why are you refreshing their Steam pages or checking on the dailies? They're like, wait, like recently I've been a bit lazy. It's been winter, you know, so maybe when I wake up, I spend 30 minutes in bed just like doom scrolling or reading something. You know, like just using my phone, not being very productive. But like imagine you get up every day and the first thing you do is check someone's Steam account. How many fucking hours of Ashes of Creation have they logged in today? Are they still online? I'm going to get him one day. This is deranged. This man needs help. He needs some milk, but not the Blizzard milk.
Is this directly against your and Steam's TOS, it gives an incredibly bad impression of the game to my entire community. All of this was reported 8 days ago now, and nothing has been communicated back. Can you explain to me why no action has been taken? He shows reference to the fact that this stuff is against TOS. Astute observation. Margaret responds back, we understand how frustrating it can feel when you don't immediately see visible action, especially when the behavior reflects on your community's experience. A few clarifications may help. Not every report results in a permanent ban. Depending on severity and context, some cases warrant warnings or temporary actions, etc. The ban list only displays characters that have received a permanent ban within the last 30 days. It doesn't show every different moderation outcome. She reiterates a second time.
Wait, so they post a ban list every month to show who was banned and for what? And he's like going to the list and checking. He's like, oh, today's the day. I'm going to get you. Oh, it's not there? Those rats.
Our support team is currently working through a very large queue following our holiday break in December, and response times are taking longer than usual. I just want to say this now to get it out of the way. Maybe they have a queue of all of these TOS breaking tickets that are showcasing these examples of people breaking TOS and saying bad things and whatnot. But it seems that because Pirate, you know, is streamer and is talking with these people, that he feels that because he's able to directly show—
You want to play this game now and get banned? You can't. It's it rug pulled. All the investors got scammed and the game no longer exists. And I want to blame PirateSoftware for that, even though, I mean, yeah, never mind.
These examples, that he gets to have priority in that queue. There are people that could have been saying far more egregious shit, which is, you know, still crazy, that just hadn't been dealt with either yet because they weren't there in the queue. It has been made very clear, and Pirate is also aware of the fact that this moderation team is small. It's been told to him directly from Margaret multiple times. And don't get me wrong, he has no obligation to stick around. He has no obligation to, you know, oh, you know, I understand, you know, you guys can take all the time you need. He can leave. The moderation team can just be too small for an MMO. But it seems like—
I want to say, like, one thing I've noticed is streamers get super butthurt about being, like, stream sniped. And stream sniping is, like, an IRL thing and also a video game thing. But I think it started as purely a video game thing, like a stream sniper. Now, maybe I'm wrong about this, but my understanding of stream sniper, the original meaning was that someone would, like, play a PvP game and they would look for you in the game by using your stream to use, like, or, like, you know, join a queue at the same time as you and try and match you in, like, a match. And that, I think that, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, obviously if you're using the stream to, like, cheat, that's bullshit. That's, like, you shouldn't do that. But, like, I feel like, you know, if you're playing, like, a running around an open world and, like, a bunch of guys try and, like, shop and, like, gank you, like, that adds drama, that adds passion, that adds interest, intrigue. You know, there's like storylines there. But streamers get so fucking butthurt about this. It's like, just deal with it. It's just a video game. Now, if it's in real life, that's a little bit creepier, I suppose. But again, it's kind of just adding context. It's not context. It's adding content, is what I was saying. But there are some streamers that are like, I can't believe you just showed up on my stream. Would you show up would I show up at your job? This is my job. How dare you show up at this arcade where I'm live streaming playing video crane games and you try and say hello to me, you peasant. It's one of the biggest pussy moves I think I've ever seen. I don't know why people get so mad about it. Now, maybe if I was a really big streamer and it was happening to me every day, I would complain about it. I don't know. But it's every time I see it, I feel like it's such a precious little, oh no, people are showing up in my video game. Oh no, people are showing up. Like I said, like if they show up at the restaurant or something, that's kind of weird. But, oh no, how dare they show up and jump up and down in front of my serious live stream. That's why Rust streamers are based. I've never watched a Rust streamer. What do they do? Do they have to like fight off like a million guys? That sounds kind of fun. Like it's like a game of like hide and seek or something. But you've got all these dudes coming after you. That actually seems entertaining. You're starting a restream? That's not a stream snipe though. Like to stream snipe me, you would have to show up in a video game or at my house. Which that's going to be challenging.
Like, he's butthurt because they're not taking care of his personal tickets that involve someone calling him a ferret fucker and someone else referencing Kiwi Farms, which is directly what he screenshotted and showed Margaret, which does not line up with the claims he was making that this was in reference to someone saying we're going to kill LGBT people. He is directly lying about the chain of events, and for some reason, I guess after not reading through them, posted these leaks. So I'm confused. This is him blatantly lying. Now, is he doing this maliciously? I'm not really sure at this point.
I don't think that, like, chat, do you think that Pirate is doing this maliciously? I think that in his mind it's true. It's like that George Costanza thing. It's not a lie if you believe it. I definitely think Pirate believes that he is like the most oppressed man in the entire world, and that these people are just doing this purely because he's such a magnificent person that they have to try and shut him down because they just hate to see someone succeed. It's crabs in the bucket mentality, rather than people are just doing it for a bit of a laugh. But I mean, what do you guys think?
There's been proof in the past of him just being an idiot and being wrong about stuff that he was very confidently thinking he was right about. But let's just continue on. Pirate responds back again. This person explained very publicly that they are a Kiwi Farms user and is spreading attack information from that website.
Well, no, they said, I don't know about spreading it. I don't know what no, they just said that they were laughing at his thread. At least that's what the evidence that Pirate Software has presented thus far. Now, if you were saying go to Kiwi Farms, get Thor's address, and then show up at his house, that might be different. Something's different, but that's something you call the police on. That's not something you report to the community manager so that your stream is uninterrupted.
I've been swatted 6
But I'm going to guarantee that's not what they were doing.
times in the last year due to this group, and he just keeps talking about that. He says, this is absolutely not taking TOS violations seriously, and I am disappointed by your response. If this is somehow not egregious enough to be moderated by your team, then I have no reason to continue playing. My brother in Christ, they're going through the queue of potentially TOS violating tickets. You aren't special because they're calling you ferret fucker. Now, finally, on January 14th, Kronos is the first person to bring up these people, and he has a screenshot here.
Now, like I said, some people are saying that Kronos is also Pirate Software. I believe it's somebody else that works as his like editor/head Jenny.
About people grouping up to go against the LGBTQ community. He says, on top of the above, a number of people keep reaching out to us about comments like the attached and whether anything is actually being done about moderation day to day. While I am generally of the let it cook mindset and to leave time for things, active moderation of the community can't wait 8+ days like the above issue to get reviewed in action. Now, don't get me...
Why not? Why not? I mean, you can... First of all, you can just turn off the game if you don't like what the experience you're having, which I guess is what Pirate did eventually. But you can you can block people, you can mute them, you can play a different character. These are really like just streamer-centric problems. It's because he's a known person in the game and he's streaming to thousands of people. That's what's allowing them to do this. Like, if you want to enjoy a game, then maybe just play it off stream. You're upset that people are causing drama during your like work with, like, you know, air quotes, obviously, where you just sit there and rake in thousands of dollars a day. Well, maybe not a day, but like probably every week or so. I don't know. I don't know how much money Twitch streamers make. I think they make a lot of money. Maybe not as much as certain other streamers on different channels, because Twitch takes a pretty hefty cut. But it depends on how many Amazon Prime subs they get, I guess. But I'd be fairly confident to say that Pirate Software is making north of $300,000 to $500,000 a year easily, since he's got enough money to pump into it, making it a ferret rescue that he's allegedly not taking his pick of the litter from, so to speak.
Wrong. I think it's a good point. If people are spamming shit like this in the chat globally, like just on a public day-to-day thing, that makes sense. But again, they're doing the best with what they can. I think that is fair criticism that they're not responding to things accordingly. But Pirate has been misleading, has just been completely wrong about what they were talking about in DMs. Or at the very least, the timeline does not match up with what he's saying. And it's very clear that the messages that she had given him, that he's bitching about, you know, being too corporate and whatnot, are clearly in reference to the Kiwi Farms thing and the ferret comment. Do you think perchance there were other messages during other parts of the days previously that may have been the same thing as this, or may have been something just as egregious, that are still waiting in the queue, waiting for them to resolve because they're fixing ones that were being messaged during Christmas? Again, it just seems that Pirate feels entitled that the issues that he runs into be solved first. Margaret responds saying,
Kronos exposed buying subs for ferret fuckers, Jason Subathon. Yeah, that's right. Like, so subathons is like when you stream for like, I'm going to stream for an hour. Every sub extends the stream like 5 minutes. And Pirate was sending money to his mods to buy subs to keep the stream going, and I think he had like one of the longest subathons ever. It was like a world record or something. I'm actually like, I don't think I have a problem with that, because it's just like it's kind of like it's like advertising expense, honestly. Like, if you're sending money to buy yourself subs, you get a cut. Like, you're losing 50% of those subs every time you put them through. So it's like, I mean, is it slimy behavior? Perhaps. but I don't think it's like a TOS problem, honestly. I mean, the company's happy, the person's company. It's like one of those like I consent, I don't situations. It certainly does take a lot of. It certainly means that he's astroturfed part of his career. But I'm not sure if that should be an illegal move. I think I'm okay with it, to be honest. I wouldn't do it because I just want to extract as much money as I can from things. But if someone wants to spend $5,000 to make it look like they're bigger about us than they really are, then it's no skin off my neck, really. Pay pigs being tricked into donating more, they get what they deserve. It's not. It all depends. It's bad because pirate. Well, that's true. Actually, I didn't consider this point. It's much more simpler like that. And it all makes sense now. All right, back to Margaret's story.
We hear you, and we want to be very clear that we take concerns like this seriously. If at any point you feel that your personal safety is at risk, we strongly encourage you to contact local law enforcement immediately. We can and do take action within our platforms, but threats that extend beyond the game or into the real world are best handled by the appropriate authorities. Now, question for the viewer here. Do you think that Margaret here is referencing the LGBTQ comment by talking about personal safety being at risk and contacting local law enforcement? Or do you think it's maybe...
I want to actually... Can I see what they said? All right, it says, looking for a few good men to take the fight to the LGBT community and make America great again. PST for invites. That's what he's complaining about? Gooby? Looking for a few good men to take the fight to the LGBT community and make America great again. PST for, like, PST is like please send tell. So like please send a message. So it sounds like he's just doing a raid in game and doing PvP. Or it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. And he's like, this group was hunting down LGBT. No, they're not. It's not serious. It's a joke. Holy shit. I thought it was actually something like serious. That's like so clearly having a lol. Oh my goodness.
Comment by talking about personal safety being at risk and contacting local law enforcement? Or do you think it's maybe Pirate talking about how he was personally attacked and swatted 6 times and that he's worried that this person talking about the Kiwi Farms thing is a part of the group that has swatted him 6 times, which seems to be him clearly alluding to the fact that it might become a 7th time. In my personal humble opinion, take it with a grain of salt, I think she might be talking about that. She continues with, we are also aware of the issues created by our response delays. Our support team is very small, and following the holiday period, we are working through a significant backlog, almost like she said this twice. Reports are reviewed in the order received and investigated carefully, which can take time, especially when context must be verified across multiple systems. We will see what we can do about moving your tickets up in the queue. Moderation is not...
I mean, I kind of feel like that's a bad move for them, even if they're just saying that to appease him and they're lying, because that's the Chad moderation move, is you just pretend that you're acquiescing to their demands and just do nothing. But like, if Pirate unironically did get special treatment because he's a streamer, then I would say the game deserved to die. Now, it was rug pulled, so it doesn't matter anyway. But I hate it when video games companies play favorites with streamers and stuff like that. That's some BS.
Deprioritized in favor of RMT enforcement. Both are active, ongoing efforts. However, volume and staffing constraints mean we cannot always act as quickly as anyone would like us, including us. We recognize that delays impact confidence, and we are actively evaluating how we can improve both visibility and turnaround time. He responds back what looks to be just about 2 weeks later, January 27th. To wrap this conversation up, this is my response from your support system. The players, Avok and Irish Kiwi, did not receive a ban or suspension of any kind. Neither did Gooby from Cronus' screenshot above. They were clocking hours in the game every day since this report was sent and continue to do so. Moderation has become unmanageable in both the response time and outcomes as shown by this entire...
I mean, if you think that moderation is untenable because someone's saying make America great again in a video game, maybe our priorities are not exactly where they should be.
Conversation. I already had to hide global chat on stream due to the number of people praising Hitler and spamming racial slurs all day. With that, I could at least explain it away as growing pains or a backed up system of tickets. This, though, we follow...
I mean, it was mentioned earlier in the chat, but like, have these people never been in an Xbox lobby? They've never played a game online before? People just try and say the funniest, most heinous things to get a rise out of people. It's not serious, okay? And if they are serious, you should be thankful that they're wasting their time in a video game rather than actioning the events in real life. Either way, it's like better that they do it there. Now, if you've got like an RP server or something and it's breaking the immersion, then maybe, yeah, I don't know, get rid of them. But like, honestly, who gives a shit? Ridiculous.
The entire book of reporting in our system. We put in tickets and alerted you to exactly what was going on in game. We showed screenshots, and many other players also reported this activity. You chose this outcome intentionally, even while being fully aware of the context. Based on this, I will no longer be encouraging my community to play the game, nor will I be streaming it. On a person...
You did this on purpose because you don't like me and my furry ferret friends. Oh, alliteration.
Personal level, I am incredibly disappointed in the entire company now. You've lost my faith as a player and an ally with this decision. And we can see here attached, it's just...
You've lost an ally today. PirateSoftware will remember this action against his party.
The message from January 14th of him saying, hey, we took a look at it, and saying that they will be taking action in regard to it. Again, I don't think calling someone a ferret fucker is necessarily ban-worthy, but sure, maybe, you know, muting them or something along those lines. And bringing up Kiwi Farms, I don't even know if that's like a mutable offense. It doesn't really make sense. He's giving Thor shit. You can call that harassment.
House of the Pirate? Yes, indeed. I've been watching the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms and reading the books. They're pretty entertaining. It's nice to have something nice to watch again. Like, since Game of Thrones was such a disappointment. I hope they don't ruin my Chad Duncan egg story. It's going well so far. I'm enjoying it.
Just block them. Continuing on though, Margaret responds to this. Hey, I can see how deeply disappointed you are, and I understand why moments like this feel like a
Why does he sound like a scorned incel? You've answered your own question.
Breaking point. You've stood up for us publicly, put your own credibility, etc., etc. To be transparent about what happened on our end, we investigate the reports you and others submitted. The messages in question occurred within a very short window, roughly a 15-minute span, and involved only a handful of posts. While some of the language was used was inappropriate and unacceptable, our current moderation framework does not always move directly to permanent bans for first-time offenses of this nature. She is so clearly still referencing the ferret thing and the Kiwi Farms thing. She does not appear to be talking about the LGBT thing. In many cases, we issue warnings first with the expectation that behavior can improve. If it doesn't, we escalate. The approach isn't about minimizing harm. It's about giving people a chance to course correct before we move to irreversible actions. It's imperfect and it doesn't always align with how quickly or firmly others would expect us to act.
Like, this is unironically, like, we need a breath of fresh air. Like, there are so many, like, loose cannon moderators and Jannies that, like, police everything that happens in games. You make, like, a single joke, people fly off the handle. Like, imagine giving people a moment to maybe push the bounds of comedy, have a bit of a laugh, or say something a little bit edgy. Like, it's not going to kill you. Pirate's certainly doing okay. He's fine. Okay, he's got all the ferrets he could live for. Still, just let people have a bit of fun on the internet. Okay, it's not so serious. Stop taking the internet so fucking seriously. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. It's so little a thing.
They continue on. I also want to acknowledge the timeline frustration. Our team is small. We work
tickets. Hold on a second. There's a good question here. Why not just block them? Someone answered this already, but if he blocks them, then he won't be able to see if they get banned, and he won't be able to enjoy the momentary dopamine hit of his report going through and being effective. So he has to check them and refresh their stream profiles every day just to make sure and count how many hours they're playing on Ashes of Creation or whatever it is.
In the order they're received, and we do our due diligence on each one. That means response time can feel slow, especially when you're experiencing this live on stream in front of your audience. I know we're doing our best doesn't erase that experience. She talks about what they're working on. They're actually building a much stronger chat filter and reporting pipeline, hoping that will make sure the worst messages aren't even being posted and will automatically surface violations to CS for action. But I also understand if that's not fast enough or not the outcome you hope for. I just want you to know this wasn't indifference. It wasn't us choosing bad behavior over the community. It was us applying a framework that's still evolving in a game that is still very much in motion. Whether or not you choose to stay with us, I respect the honesty you brought to this conversation. I'm genuinely sorry that reached a place where you felt unheard and unsupported. Seemed like she was being honest and trying her best. Definitely still corpo speak, don't get me wrong, but seemed like she was being honest and fair. Two things.
It's a pretty reasonable response. I don't know why anyone would fly off the handle for this.
Can be true at the same time. They clearly do not have a large enough moderation team. That doesn't mean that you just get priority because you're messaging these people.
Blocking should be a requirement for reporting someone if you want them banned. I agree. Because, like, there's a really scummy thing people can do where they go just, like, start harassing you and then blocking you so you can't respond. That's like, it's so annoying. I mean, that happens in certain games. But they block you and then they just unblock you, send a message, block you so that you can't, they try and like dodge all your messages. They think they're so hot shit doing that stuff.
Had so many other potentially more egregious breaches of TOS to go over first. Now, in case you guys were thinking that Pirate was more focused and more worried about this person claiming to go after LGBT people, Pirate responds to this with issuing a warning to a player while they encourage others to engage in a website that swatted me is unacceptable. They tried to murder me. Not
I feel like you should have read this differently. They tried to murder me. Not in a video game. It's like Sam Hyde posting or something. You mean on the stage? No, at your house, PirateSoftware. They tried to murder me, not in a video game, at my home, using an armed response team. Like, he was swatted. I'm not going to deny that he wasn't swatted, but there's no way to prove who did this. It was most likely it was Tor Swartz running their, like, swatting service. That was like $20 or something per swatting, which was a pretty crazy deal, honestly. But, like, after he was arrested, I think, like, 90% of all online swattings ended. Because he was the one dude that was, like, autistic enough to actually go through with calling the cops, using that voice AI filter, whatever they were doing.
not in a video game. They told that team that I had murdered my father with a gun while spoofing my brother's phone number to make it seem like he organized it. This is the player we're giving a warning to. Think about that. Seriously. Don't get me wrong. He's right about the swatting. If you are swatting someone, you are genuinely trying to get them killed. Now, I don't know necessarily in regard to the details of these swatting calls, but turns out with a FOIA, yeah, I did get it confirmed that Pirate did get swatted, at the very least on the one occasion that I got information about. I don't think he's really bullshitting about that. But I will say that if a person is just saying that your Kiwi Farms page is booming, that is not them directly inciting and asking people to get you swatted. That's not how that works. Continuing on, for the chat filter, you should know that filters do not equate to moderation and never have. Players have and always will find a way around filters. The only problem—
Is that true, chat? Is there a way you can get away around filters? I don't think this is accurate. I think this is incorrect. I've never seen anyone get around a filter before. Let's see what they can do.
Proper solution to this problem is a standardized and empowered moderation team. We literally moderate 4 streams simultaneously with a single moderator at a time with nearly 1 million unique viewers per month. A company of 250 plus burning $850,000 a week in costs should easily do better than our team. What's a community manager going to do to get more moderators? You have made it very clear, and the fact that they've been backlogged from Christmas, I think makes it pretty clear that they're aware of the stress and limit.
The difference is that Pirate Software, even if they, like, I'm going to be honest, I'm very impressed in the level of his Jannies. That's like some serious oversweeping that they're doing. But they take a very fast and loose approach, just destroying everyone that gives them any sort of criticism. And that's not really tenable for a company that's trying to make money. Because, you know, if you've got a stream of like 10,000 people or something, whatever Pirate Software has, and you ban like 20 of them or something, it's not like a big hit to your revenue. But, you know, 20 banned people to a company, that's like $20 maybe per person or higher, times 20. That's quite a lot. That's like $400, right?
Limitations of their small team. Why does he feel the need to flex that he's able to take care of 4 streams simultaneously with a single moderator at a time? I mean, I'm sure that he's able to handle that now with a single moderator, being that his viewership has dropped off a fucking cliff. But I digress. He finishes this up with something interesting. You bringing up—
Is this true though? Like, is there a stream charts on Pirate Software? I'm kind of curious. I know there's a site that does a stream chart, maybe. Like, using Social Blade isn't very good for it. Let me see. Streamcharts.com, verifying you're human. Let's see what this is for Pirate Software. Streams. Where's the... All right. I don't know how this site works. I've seen like other people using it before. Average viewers for... Can I do live show all, I guess? Let's see how this works. Maybe I should come back and do this later or something. These are his streams. How do I get to the audience? Maybe audience statistics. I mean, I do think that Pirate Software dropped off because he was getting like 60,000 views at a certain point. Oh, this is a pro plan only. Oh my goodness, I'm not a pro, chat. Maybe if we can go to statistics, last 90 days. Can I get like the last year? Damn it! All right, never mind. I have to be a pro, so I'm not paying money to this site. I think that Pirate has dropped off like a little bit, but I'm not sure about considerably. He certainly has enough to keep himself going in the immediate future and then not finish Heartbound. Let me see, is he streaming right now? He's streaming right now to 3,000. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Last time I saw him, he was like 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 60,000. Now he's at 3,000. That's a pretty big fall off. But like 3,000 on Twitch is still pretty big. Like, it's not like 1-to-1 to YouTube, but there's certainly, if you're streaming like 8 hours a day or like 4 to 8 hours, 3,000 viewers, that's a pretty good, nice chunk of change, not considering all the gifted donations and stuff like that. But that's a big fall off, I have to say. It's so funny to see how his career tanked so quickly, because there was a point where he was basically just shitting gold, and everywhere you saw him, he was getting love from everybody.
Parting ways, the creator program like this just makes it seem like you don't want to pay out the 15% on the approximate 40,000 signups I have brought to Intrepid over the years should the game succeed. Considering—
Oh, okay, this is actually an interesting part. You bring up the parting of ways, the creator program is just like makes it seem like you don't want to pay out the 15%. So like there was a referral bonus for signing up to the game. That was one of the things they never paid out allegedly. Any single creator that signed up people never got any of their referrals. 15% of 40,000 signups would be that's a hefty chunk of change. But it seems like someone took the money and ran. I'm not too well versed with this situation, but everyone's just saying it's a rug pull. So someone got scammed there for sure. I have brought to Intrepid over the years, should the game succeed, considering, well, it didn't. Considering the circumstances, I want to know why you would communicate this as an outcome. Interesting. 15% of $200. Is it $200? Like this guy donated $250, but I don't think Ashes of Creation was $200 for everyone, surely. What year is this? How long have I been asleep? I was sick for like a week and now every game's like $200. Surely it's 15% of like $60 or something. Or maybe like a first month or two of subscription sales, because most of these games had like the alpha wave was $100 to $200. There's no fucking way. That's crazy. How much is that? Dare I do math on stream and completely embarrass myself, even while using a calculator? So what, 40,000? We'll say he got 40,000 times 100. Wait. 4 million times 1 point, what is it? 1 point that, like, right? $600,000 potentially? Jesus Christ. That'd be a lot. Is that right? Did I do this right, chat? I mean, that's a lot of money. That'd be funny if they literally gaslighted him and didn't ban these people purely so they could keep the money. That's incredibly funny as a conspiracy theory. And in fact, this is my headcanon, is that in fact, Margaret Crone was the person promoting Kiwi Farms specifically so that they could take his $600,000. There was a Kickstarter and you could buy in stuff and the cosmetics on top of it. That's 70 trillion yen. That's a lot of yen. Made over $3 million. PirateSoftware or the game itself? It has to be the game, right?
In the circumstances, I want to know why you would communicate this as an outcome. Now, I've been giving shit to Pirate, but I want to bring this up because I think this is a bit strange. This became a bit more of like public knowledge. It always had been, but people became more aware of this fact that every single person that you got signed up with your referral code, like Pirate or these other streamers, they would get 15% of like a commission of the purchases made on that account. I believe it was maybe just a sign up, but it could have been.
If that's like lifetime, like that's actually an incredibly lucrative deal. If it's like the entirety of their entire like career playing the game, because people play MMOs for like years. Oh, the game made over $3 million from Kickstarter. Why did Margaret even respond to him? Good question. I guess because he was a big deal and he used to work for Blizzard. Who knows? Like that's a crazy grift. Like I've seen some people like Nicholas Diorio or some shit. They got like the Fortnite sign-up code in their bio. I don't think he plays Fortnite or anything. He's just making money off all the kiddies that play Fortnite or whatever. But like those sign-up things are so lucrative if you have like even a modicum of an audience. I'm so mad because like there's one service that I use that did have like I started using in its early service history, and it had a referral code for 1% of every user's various earnings on it. And I only got one person to sign up and he's only ever made $10. And I'm so mad because it's basically as soon as I got into it, they shut down the referral system, and I could have made a lot of money from the referrals because a lot of people I know use this service now. And I'm so mad. All that free money I left on the table. Oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is, chat. At least I got my $10 dues of referral money. 1% of that. That guy stopped using the service too. Such a ripoff.
Cosmetics too, anything like that, whatever. Now I'm going to show her response to that, but people were like, "Oh,
I'm such a bad grifter. I need to start being ultra grifty, I think. I think that's what I'm going to do with my next birthday. I'm going to turn into the ultimate grift overdrive. And just like have no fucking remorse and just become as slimy as possible. I'm going to be selling like Hawk Tour coins and shit. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having morals. It's time for me to stand up and get my piece.
Pirate was, in on the scam. Like, he didn't like Ashes of Creation. He was just doing it for the huge fucking payoff.
This guy's got an idea. We're going to start a coffee company. That's how we're going to do it.
When the game would go to release. Other people were claiming that he was going to be getting paid out this 40,000 sign up 15%, commission thing. However, it's been confirmed that that would not have gone live until the game went live, which it did not, which means that he's not seeing any of that money. And people are still giving him shit for that.
Well, then by the contractual agreement, PirateSoftware didn't actually get ripped off at all because the game failed before it got to the point where it could have paid him out. So that's like a GG no re, I'm afraid.
Which doesn't make sense. The dude is not clairvoyant. He would not be able to look into the future and see that the game was going to fucking topple. People have brought up that there was a dude that was poking holes saying that the desert in Ashes of Creation was completely empty, and Pirate actually had a good response to that and defended it pretty decently. Like, again, we didn't know for a fact that AOC was a complete and utter scam until the rug pulled. Or at the very least, I'm sure
He means Ashes of Creation, not Alexandra Cortez or whatever her name is.
I'm going to get like 4 or 5 comments being like, well, I fucking knew. So, incorrect, Wuzo. Honestly, I don't think that Pirate thought that this was a scam. He himself, I believe, logged in, from his own claims, like approximately 3,000 hours into Ashes of Creations.
See? it's not so unreasonable to have 1,000 hours in a video game, okay, chat? PirateSoftware had 3,000 hours in a game that didn't even get released. It's not that strange to have thousands of hours in a video game, allegedly. It's perfectly normal. I mean, yes, it could have been me indeed.
Did he like the idea of getting a 15% commission on 40,000 fucking, signups? I don't doubt it. But I don't think he was trying to milk this, for everything that it was worth, thinking that it was a scam. And I don't think it's fair to go after his intentions based off of this, because of course he'd care about potentially getting, a nice little bit of revenue sharing here. So I don't necessarily blame him, but also from my understanding, it wouldn't have been actual money. It only would have been in-game currency. If he could have swapped it out for actual, cash.
What? There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that it turns out it's going to be 600,000 Ashes of Creation coins. That would be some bullshit in there. Now, you can trade in-game currency for real money through third-party websites, so they actually could still make some money that way. That would be the funniest switcheroo that I'd ever play. Wages for 30 dev-type role would be like 5 million 1 year alone, plus hosting costs, suppliers. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive to make MMOs, for sure. A lot of MMO companies have pretty bad business standards too. Like, there's a lot of grind. A lot of, is it called grind? Yeah, grind. Like the overclocking hours and shit. Overtime, unpaid, everything. Shitty. Crunch time. Crunch is what I'm thinking for.
Okay, I still don't think that changes it, but I think it's something worth considering. Margaret responds to that. First, I'm deeply sorry you went through that. No one should ever experience something like that. Genuinely sorry this happened. For situations like this, we do have to...
Maybe if more people experienced it, they wouldn't be so whiny about it.
Ask that you work with your local authorities, as you seem to already be doing. We simply don't have the power or tools to investigate or act on crimes of that nature, and your safety is what matters most. She says, I took more time to reply here because I pulled one of our customer support staff aside to do another investigation now on that user's account, and their interactions with yours and those handful of messages during that 15-minute time frame were all that I saw. The action that customer support took made sense for that user's actions in-game. I also want to be transparent about what we can see on our side. There's no way for us to correlate the in-game account in question with the person who swatted you. I understand how painful that gap is, but we can't take action without verifiable connection within our platform. Otherwise, folks could claim things to us at any point to get someone banned for mentioning a website or other words. But I will say that if you encounter any more issues with these users in particular, please escalate these and we will move you up in the queue to resolve them as quickly as possible due to your circumstances. You're right that filters alone aren't moderation, they're just one layer. That's why we're working toward a stronger, more empowered moderation pipeline, better surfacing, faster response, and stronger internal workflows. We're not where we need to be yet, and I won't pretend otherwise. You're created the way from at the back. We already work with local law enforcement on this.
All right. Let's see Pirate's response here. Also, we have some breaking news. Not quite breaking, but it was as of 8 hours ago. Quick quartering update after the Pirate segment. Okay, chat.
And have since the first swatting attempt. In total, it's happened 6 times and will likely continue to happen in part due to situations like this, seemingly blaming her for not getting rid of him. It's common enough from this group that I know and work with local sheriff's office directly, and they call me when it comes in to verify that I've done nothing, and we coordinate on string to prove it. The community never knows about it, and that's how it should be. Normalizing this kind of behavior is what empowers people like this to continue. He was making fun of you.
All right. I think that's more or less the bulk of the video. The pirate just keeps going over and complaining. Water is also wet. Now, while I was looking for PirateSoftware clips, I found this clip, which has nothing to do with the stream, but it's kind of funny. It's about scrolling on Twitter, which is going to lead very nicely into the quartering brief update we'll have next. So XQC having a nice little fun time on Twitter. Nothing wrong could possibly happen. Walk with the civil rights leaders in Minecraft. Look at that.
Wait. What?
This is actually a true thing. We want to change the world. Start in Minecraft. In the free Good Trouble DLC. Explore global rights citizen movement, meet changemakers, and learn how to stand up, speak out, and build a better world. Perfect in Minecraft, the absolute. Yeah, great.
In the free Good Trouble DLC.
Eating popcorn.
What's we got here?
Oh my, yo.
So if you're just listening, I'll have to audiobook this for you. So there's a civic rights parade of black people walking through Minecraft. He then scrolls down to a basketball player in Minecraft being whipped on the beach. I assume he's an Enderman being skin swapped.
Oh my.
So that's an interesting mod. We might have to check that out at some point. All right, before we get into the Clavicular part, the quartering has a message for you. During the stream today, this was 8 hours ago, so I guess you can see this in the casino tomorrow. During the stream today, I was just minding my own business, scrolling a trending news thread, and my entire audience was greeted with hardcore porn. Lol. Oops, sorry guys. I guess it's not safe to scroll X live. I really fucking hate that degenerate. Well, like, he says that, but the comments reveal that it was cuck porn. It was cuck porn, and X served search results based according to the algorithm which prioritizes the type of content you engage with, buddy. The cornering featuring Skyro. That's a good one. The cornering, I like that. I love that one. I never see porn on my timeline, by the way. You got felted. The Kino Casino wins. You're broke. Cucked bum. The Sky Bull is real. That's your algorithm, buddy. I never see things like that on mine because I don't search for it. You are a cuck, Jer. It's algorithm based, and you have to interact with porn, not just suitable for work. This is true, by the way. Like, if you look at something on Twitter, it'll send you more of the same stuff. So this is absolutely true that the quartering was looking for cuck porn. You have to have liked cuck porn multiple times for it to be able to under a normal one-word search. So there it is. There you go. There you go. It's confirmed. All right. Moving on to the clavicular segment. Now, clavicular is a dude, if you're unaware. He's basically the what are we on? The Zoomers? The Zoomer generational Zeus. Zeus is like a bodybuilder that was like, just get bitches, look like a Greek god, and die early. And this is what Clavicular is going for. He's said that he doesn't care about what happens to him in the future. And he smashes his face with a hammer to get like his cheekbones bigger. He literally snorts meth to get hollow cheeks to look more attractive. And he's essentially the world's first male to male trans. And his dick doesn't work because unless like Vitali like unironically sticks an injection into the base of his tip, because he's on so many drug cocktails that he can't actually get hard anymore. So what's the point? Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's the crazy thing about Clavicular, is that it's all to get girls ostensibly, but he's broken his own dicks to get to this point. Now, he was arrested recently. So we're going to take a quick look at this. This is a quick segment, I think. But he was arrested, and I think that this is kind of a bullshit thing. Like, I feel like there's a lot of reasons he should have been arrested, but what they get him on is like kind of bullshit. He was using a fake ID, which, yeah, you shouldn't do that. But then they found like what was it? It was like an Adderall pill or something in his pocket. But this is actually from his live stream. He was arrested on live stream.
Is he being detained at the moment?
He's being detained.
He's being placed under arrest.
Under arrest? For what?
I don't know. That's up to him to let you know. He's an adult.
You can see there he's absolutely height-mogging. He's height-mogging these cops, and his cortisol levels are level. All right, Chad, he's having a great time. He looks happy. His shoulders are pretty bad, though, if I have to say. Like, he has, like, these pyramid shoulders where they slope off really quickly. Could be the handcuffs, though.
Yeah. Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
He wears lifts? Of course he does. But that doesn't matter because girls don't pay attention to that shit. Got the bike coppers bonking him as well. Unbelievable.
Nah, guys, I'm not going to take over tonight. We're going to make sure that he's okay.
He gets taken away. Now, he did appear in court today. Well, maybe not today, but oh shit! I ruined the segue. Anyway, after getting arrested, he posted this on Instagram. Defense attorneys in Scottsdale, Arizona area, well, AZ area. I think it was Arizona. Please DM me. I need ASAP. I need help. I feel like you're gonna have a bad time if you're posting this on your Instagram stories. And it seems like he may have got the worst response because, like, his lawyer is the biggest nerd. This is the dude they have. Now, we do have the entire court transcript or recording. It's not that entertaining, though. I kind of went through it. So we'll take a look at some other legal professionals that talked about it. You don't want to be a pretty boy in prison. The thing is, he doesn't have any strength as well because, like, all of his muscles are like basically like that gel you inject. And they posted a video of him recently where he was like, Clavicular does pec flies with ease, and it's like 30 pounds, which I think is like 15 kilos, right? It's like nothing. Now, let's see, he's actually booked in. You can see he's got his booking. It was for forgery, possession of a forged instrument. I believe he's under 21. That's the problem. He was trying to go to the club. He was under 21. Dangerous drug possession/use, liquid minor false ID to enter, misdemeanor, and 2 felonies. But relatively minor, I believe. And you can check the court dockets and everything. But He's saying that he's getting a $25,000 bond and 2 felony charges for being inside a bar. Insane. Straight up political persecution. This is not political persecution. It's just like some it's just bad luck, essentially. Now, the thing is that's interesting about this to me is that, like I said, I think the Clavicular has a very strong case for being lolcal of the year 2026. His entire physiology is dependent on drugs. He cannot live otherwise. Like, at least he can't live in the way that he wants to live. He has to be taking the testosterone so he can gain muscle mass. He has to be taking meth so that he, like, I'm not joking. I've seen videos of this man snorting meth live on the street so that he gets hollow cheeks. If he goes on probation, his career is basically done. Now, the thing is, his appearance isn't actually that important. The interesting thing about Clavicular is that he's willing to go to such crazy, insane degrees to actually get attention. That's what makes him entertaining. It's not because it's kind of weird because it's like this weird logic where he thinks getting attractive is going to give him more attention, but it's not the case at all. It's because he's a lunatic that he's getting attention. But we'll have to see. It's not just his physiology; it's psychological. More than that, that's true. Like, he actually like can't go outside and talk to people without taking drugs to calm him down, or his cortisol spikes. He talked about drinking like 1 beer every hour, every moment of the day, like 24 beers a day, just so that he can like chill out and like be chill maxed or whatever. Now, I am not a lawyer, so we'll have a quick roundup of this by Legal Mindset, who posted a quick 5-minute video today on Clavicular. But first, we have to talk about Mudang, because I'm going to be honest. When I saw Mudang, this is the hippo, if anyone's wondering. I thought this was its neck. Does anyone else notice this? Like, I legit thought that this is like Mudang here. Got the eyes here, the mouth. I thought this was like a big fucking like dinosaur or some shit like this. That's what I see when like I think this is a mistake to have Mudang sitting on the lamp. Like, it's like sitting on like a regular lamp or something. Like the hippo is here. Like, you got the little legs here or whatever. I do like Mudang as well, but not this much. But like I was convinced that this was the neck before. Like right down here. Like, you got a little tie here for boat Mudang. Got his little I don't know, maybe a little afghan or whatever. There we go. That's what I saw. Anyway, let's see what Legal Mindset Andrew, friend of the channel, has to say about Clavicular. Oh, it's muted.
Version, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So jumping right into it with our PowerPoint here.
Did Andrew get a new editor? He's like a flashy edit, so maybe he could be doing himself. I think he got a new editor.
The Clavicular, a kick streamer, has been arrested in Scottsdale, Arizona. Here's one version that I saw of the quote-unquote mugshot, and here's another one over here in this picture, and him as well as him being arrested on stream.
What are we thinking of this mugshot, chat? Because he doesn't have the makeup. Because he does wear makeup. He unironically wears lipstick and like blush to make himself look more to change the lighting.
You see him smiling right there as he's getting hauled off by the police. So what are we talking about here? What are the charges he's facing? So, obviously, once again, it's in Scottsdale, Arizona, dealing with the Scottsdale police. So obviously an application.
Now, I thought that Clavicular was in Miami, because I remember that he was at Miami clubs with Nick Fuentes and Andrew Tate, and they started playing the Heil Hitler song by Kanye. And they got kicked out of every club in Miami because there's like one dude apparently owns all the clubs. And he said that if they want to come back to the clubs, they have to go to Israel and kiss the Wailing Wall. And Clavicular was actually making plans to go to Israel and kiss the Wailing Wall so he could get back into the clubs. So what the fuck is he doing in Scottsdale, Arizona? Did he have to like flee Miami because he didn't want to go to the wall or something?
Of Arizona law. So let's look at what we have here. In general, we have Clavicular, whose real name is Braden Peterson. He's a famous kick streamer and quote-unquote looks maxer. That's, in case you guys don't know that term, that's something used in a little bit of the manosphere red pill community for those that are trying.
I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just trying to make yourself look better.
Trying to maximize their looks in order to get women. That's his thing. Just the other day, he had some women fawning over him in an ASU frat party, although he got quote-unquote frame mobbed.
I got shoulder mobbed. You can look at his smile and optimism gone. Cortisol levels are spiking. This guy's got a really good frame, though. Like, holy shit. That's like a V. Like, you can't fake this V-taper. Holy shit. Look at his face. Just like, how dare you do this to me? How dare you mog me? His frame mogged. It's over, chat. It's absolutely over.
Frat party, although he got quote unquote frame mogged by some folks that were a little bit more jacked than him. But that said, that's not relevant to the arrest charges here. That's just a little bit of the background on who this guy is, in case you don't know. These three charges that he was arrested on were forgery, which is felony possession of a forged instrument. This is a fake ID. Then he had use of the false.
That's gross, actually. Women opinions, like Jesus. Hold on, we have to bring up the meme. Let me see, where is this? I mean, okay, I don't want to show that one. I think everyone in the chat knows what meme I'm talking about. Alright, this is the only one I can only find the gayest one, the gayest version of this. So if you don't like mahogany men, then look away for a few seconds, okay? This is what guys think will happen when they build muscles. This is what actually happens. It's true. Like women don't understand or appreciate the work, the hard work, the detail, the sacrifice that men have to do to get that sort of build. And they just say it's gross because they just want to see Brad Pitt in Fight Club, which is like the weakest frame possible. They just don't get it, chat.
ID, so that's a misdemeanor. So the possession of it is a felony. The use of it was a misdemeanor. And then you've got possession and use of drugs.
I feel like this is bullshit though. Like, I mean, I guess using fake IDs like against the law, or whatever. But like, I mean, where I'm from, 18 is the drinking age anyway. So like the absolute state of Americans that they can go to war at 18, but they can't drink until they're 21. It's kind of bullshit to me. But it is the law, so you know, play silly games, win silly prizes.
Drugs, which is a class 4 felony. Now the drugs are the most serious thing. Now at first I saw it reported as white powder, but then
what do you say?
And I saw felony. Now the drugs are the most serious thing. Now at first I saw it reported as white powder, but then
white powder, chat.
I saw, and there's a clip from the courtroom,
like cocaine or something. I see. I thought Andrew said something else.
That says that it is actually in a single loose Adderall pill.
Mr. Peters had been live streaming himself approaching individuals in Old Town Scottsdale, asking if he could obtain Adderall.
That's me. Holy. Want some good stuff?
So
this is the crazy thing, is that he does do drugs and crimes on stream, and like you shouldn't be broadcasting your crimes. Arizona takes fake IDs very seriously because of voter fraud. I thought you didn't need ID to vote. I thought that was is racist, even though it makes perfect sense. Like you need an ID for everything else. Every Jimbo now looks like Big Lenny. Okay, I don't know who Big Lenny is.
If it is indeed a single loose Adderall pill, that's going to be a lot different than if we're looking at some sort of white powder, which could be, you know, cocaine, it could be meth, it could be ketamine, it could be a lot of things. So we don't know exactly what that is, and that's going to vary. That would vary extremely. And when we get into the charges here, we see all of these have been pressed. We've got F4 felony 4, F4 felony 4 for the dangerous use and possession and the forgery, and then we've got M1 for misdemeanor. So in the aggregate, yes, these can carry severe time if he was convicted of all of these. But another thing we have to remember is he's a first-time offender. So if it's Adderall, a prescription would be the thing to negate the charge. So you'd want to get a prescription.
I don't think Clavicular has a prescription for any of this stuff, as he's talked in detail about how he had to lie to get the stuff that he has, and then he has to go to like backroom stuff. Like he tried to get testosterone prescribed, he couldn't get it, so now he's ordering off the internet. Like he's actually taking the True Shine, but just for men. I mean, I guess it's the same one that F to M's try and use, right? So that's why I say he's like the first male case of a male to male transitioner. That's what he's doing. It's like there's no difference between Clavicular and some wild shroon
in there. And if you're his defense, you're going to want to, the first thing you're going to want to do is look for a way to mitigate that. If it's a white powder, that's going to be a little different. There's not going to be a prescription for cocaine or for meth. Maybe if it was ketamine, maybe. I mean, I don't know if there's other things, but usually that would be.
Doesn't he have DUIs already? He did run over a black guy, but I don't think he got charged for that.
More prescribed form. So yeah, this is something where Adderall, you need that prescription. So if it really was one loose pill of Adderall, you're going to need a prescription to negate that or some other way to let you be in possession of that. The forgery and ID charges are going to be the hardest to fight because that's more of a personal thing. Hey, you did it.
Bulk doesn't do a heart good. A lot of guys are starting to shrink to live longer. Clavicular is doing the most destructive things possible to his entire body. There is no way he lives past 30, 40. He said this himself. So while you are correct that there is a lot of unhealthy fitness habits, Clavicular should not be looked to for any sort of advice on how to live or treat your body, because he's actually being as destructive as possible to get. The only thing he cares about is outward appearance. It doesn't matter how he performs. Doesn't matter anything. Like I said, he's literally taking meth because it helps him lose weight and make his cheeks hollow for their meth addict looked. So yeah, a lot of things do the body bad.
The defense is trying to argue intent and saying, hey, there's no intent to defraud, which is required under Arizona law. And if they're able to mitigate with intent, maybe the use, they can knock out the misdemeanor charge. But the possession, I think that's something that is going to be a little bit more difficult for them. So we're going to have to see how they handle that. But those are still going to stick, even if the prescription is there for Adderall, right? You're going to still have to fight the forgery charges. So on this, you've got a February 23rd status conference and a February 26th preliminary hearing. Those are both coming up. So we'll keep you guys posted when those actually come out. And in my judgment here, these are likely going to be relatively minor charges because he's a first-time offender. So because he's a first...
But then Clavicular is saying that this is a political prosecution, so they're going to take him down, teach him a lesson because he's just trying to be a man, even though like his dick don't work.
Offender, you've probably got probation, drug testing. You might have other checkups, other sort of requirements he's supposed to do. More severe punishment would hinge on the drug charge, but it appears to be a small quantity. If it's one loose pill, or let's say you had a little bit of powder on him, right? It's just personal use. It's not distribution. So likely for a first-time offender, they're not going to throw the book at him and put him in jail for 19 years, 8 years, etc., or the maximum charge. However, he's already said this on stream that he needs to watch himself on stream.
There's a lot of terms to my release that they're just waiting. Literally, if I up one time, the cops will be arresting me probably within 10 minutes.
The thing is here is that he's put himself into the same position as Johnny Somali, where Johnny Somali has to do the most insane, crazy things to get attention. Otherwise, people aren't going to watch him. Nobody's going to watch Clavicular for his movie reviews. Nobody's going to watch Clavicular for a reasonable take. They want to see him be crazy. They want to see him lose a lot of money. They want to see him call women bitches. They want to see him throw boat parties and then get mad and cancel them. They want to see him do drugs. They want him to do these crazy things. If he can't do that, his entire career goes down the toilet. So maybe this is for the best. Like maybe this will knock some sense into him, but I don't think so. Like if we're going to be real about this, nobody learns from anything. So I think he's going to fuck up on stream, and maybe he goes to jail so early in 2026 he doesn't make it to the end of the year. So my pick for 2026 lolcal of the year might not be doing so hot so early. He's burning out too bright, chat. The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long, as they say. That's maybe his story.
They're watching all the time. So I need lawyers, really.
But he says there that he's got to watch himself because the cops are watching, and it makes it easy for them to press further charges. And if they're pressing those further charges, that's going to put more...
Kids go wild until they settle down. He's not going to settle down, though. That's the thing, is like, he's so wrapped up in the manosphere. All women are bitches. You just got to fuck as many chicks as possible, get money, just that grind set. He's never going to find a woman that, like, he wants to settle down with. It'll never be enough. This is addiction that we're seeing in Clavicular. He's chasing a dragon that he's never going to catch. And I think the only way his story can end is in tragedy, just much like Zeus's story. Which is why I think that he's like them. That's why I'm calling him the Zuma Zeus.
Heat on him if he ends up streaming his own crimes, which is what we've seen as a trend. We've seen these people, especially the nuisance streamers, especially on different platforms that really don't police this. They're able to come out and just do these things, and then the cops will have them caught in 4K because their streams were not taken down, right? So when you have a very permissive platform, that's nice for you, but you might be caught on camera doing something you shouldn't be doing, and the platform may not take that down, and that serves the police with all the evidence they need to come and get you. So you need to be very careful what you're doing when you're streaming, very careful what you're saying when you're streaming, very careful what you're representing.
What are these Asian sounds, Andrew? You're in Thailand, not Japan. Come on now.
When you're streaming, that's kind of the lesson.
Stealing my drift.
I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you on.
All right, very cool, Andrew. Very cool. I forgot to mention I was going to do this one. I was going to cut into this story. But press F in the chat preemptively for Clavicular. He's absolutely going to die of something pretty quick, I think. So, I forgot to mention this story. Oh, wait, do we do this one? Do you want to hear about the racist country owners? Or do you want to hear about the doggo story? All right, we'll do the doggo update news. So, I was scrolling Twitter. This is some local news, okay? This is some local news from Japan. I saw this on Twitter. So basically the bike owner got pulled over and is being questioned by the cop, and he has this like cart and these two adorable Shiba Inus in the cart. And then I was like, wait a minute. And this went like super viral on Japanese Twitter. It got like 12 million views, 146,000 likes. And I was like, wait a minute. That looks familiar. I've seen that cart before. So I went through the archive. Oh my god, I don't have it preemptively loaded up, damn it. I went through the archive and I verified, chat, it is that I've seen these dogs before. In fact, anyone that's watched Cringe Van has seen these dogs before. Where's the damn clip? I had it loaded, but I had to reset my PC. Here it is. The ungraded one.
The drain can have a little oil for it.
Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That is BP talking about the drains do get a little bit of oil as a treat. That is true, though. I do believe that. It was this one. I've seen them before. We drove past them. Like, we drove past them when we were in Shikoku. Show us how I'm showing you right now. Look. So we went past this dog guy twice when we were driving through, the mountains of Shikoku. We saw this dog, and like I saw it, I didn't get a good shot of it in the first time, and then we were leaving for the day. We were just ending. We were driving past the countryside, and Doggo Man drove past. So we won't eat them. Yeah, he's that. So it's like it's this weird like I knew these dogs before they were famous, chat. So that's the local news. Is the dogs owner got arrested and he was questioned by the cops, but the doggos are okay and they're still driving around okay. So that was just a cool little thing that I saw recently that reminded me. All right, woke labor. Let's see the this is the RUK segment where we talk about the UK being cucked. Labour draws up plans to make British countryside less white in nationwide diversity drive. Let's have a listen to this.
Should we talk about the fact that countryside is
we talking about that?
is racist? Who wants to kick this one off? Nikki, go for it.
Well, I find this so fascinating. As somebody who's from a city surrounded by countryside...
All cities are surrounded. All cities are surrounded by countryside. Except maybe the Vatican and Mont Saint Michel.
I'm from Wakefield, in West Yorkshire.
Yeah.
So a place where there's lots of countryside accessible, but not lots of people from ethnic minorities access it, I would say, thinking about the demographic of Yorkshire and how many Asian friends we have. That I find really fascinating. I don't know what that's to do with.
Is the British countryside racist? Charities claim that the British countryside is racist and colonial. Big if true. Like, this makes me want to move to the countryside. Maybe this is why Clarkson's Farm is such a good show. Like, honestly, this is like my favorite show and the only reason I have Amazon Prime. Except to give my friend like my Twitch Prime every month for no reason. But it's like, it's so based watching Clarkson's Farm. He's just like having a bit of fun in the country. But I did notice that there's a distinct lack of diversity in Clarkson's Farm. Maybe that's why it's so entertaining.
I was thinking about this as well, because my husband's Asian. And a few weeks ago, we went to...
Wait a second. No. That's a rare combo. Wait, when she says Asian, she's British, so it could mean Indian.
In general, or is there a race element?
Hold on, go back a bit.
Into a pub, and he got a very... My husband's Asian.
There we go. Is your husband Indian when she says that, chat? Like, because, like, Asian man, like Japanese man, Chinese man, white woman, is very uncommon, like, pairing. But in my experience, it's very successful. I know there's very few of these relationships, but I know they're very successful. Because the average Japanese man, or the average Chinese man, doesn't like a non-Asian woman because they're not as they don't have the same cultural like know-how, essentially, you know. So that's my question. Do you think her husband is Indian? I think that's what they mean by that, because that's like a rare spotting, like rare pairing.
And a few weeks ago, we went to the Cotswolds, and we went...
That's where Jeremy Clarkson's farm is, the Cotswolds.
...into a pub, and he got a very weird look from lots of people in the pub. Really? Yes. And I was trying to discern, is it because we're just outsiders in general, or is there a race element to it? And
First of all, I don't believe this story. I don't think that you just walk into a pub in the Cotswolds. The Cotswolds is like, what is it, like an hour out of London? Even in the Cotswolds... I don't think that you just walk into a pub and an Asian man, so let's say he's Indian or Pakistani or something. I don't think you walk into the pub and everyone just turns around and goes, I've seen... No. Not in a country where the national dish of Britain is the tikka masala, okay? There's no way that they're surprised. Like, so my question is, did he smell? If you walk into a pub and you smell, then everyone takes a gander at you, of course. This story doesn't ring true to me, though. I think she's like lying about something. Now, maybe if he kicked open the door and was like, hello, 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 what's all this then or something, then yeah, maybe they have a look. But I don't know about this.
He always says that he'll go to some pubs and he thinks, yeah, they're thinking, oh, he's Asian and they don't really want him here. And that still prevails. And Cotswolds is just an example. We find that everywhere we go. If you go to a very local pub, if you know what I mean, where
but that could be because you are outside.
Right, exactly. Think, yeah. So it's difficult to discern sometimes.
I've never seen American Werewolf. Is it any good?
I mean, the thing is, isn't the bottom line that when immigrants came to our cities, they came to our cities. They didn't move into the countryside. Yeah. So what's happened is a kind of natural barrier has been kind of, initially put up, and then it's been perpetuated. Maybe we haven't done enough to get people into green spaces.
It's about economics, isn't it? It's about the fact that people of ethnic minorities are more likely to be in lower paid jobs. Those lower paid jobs tend to be in urban environments.
Well, although
it's kind of funny how that is, right? Because you'd think it would be the reverse. Like the low-wage people would be in the countryside, but it's not the case. It's like a total reverse of the traditional format.
There are lots of those in the countryside as well, running shops and doing cleaning and stuff like that. So, what is that barrier?
You spend a lot of time in Dorset. Have you noticed? I do. Does it feel like a white enclave?
He's like, do you think it's a white enclave? Because I'm looking for somewhere to buy my next summer home.
Yes, I suppose it does. But I remember growing up in the Northeast, I didn't see a black person until I was 14 because the...
This is like me, how I never saw a Jewish person until I was like 20 and I went to the zoo. The Jewish person wasn't in a cage or anything. Like he was arguing with the zookeeper about the turtles. But it was very surreal to see like a very Hasidic Jew with like the curls and the hat and everything. He was on holiday from New York. I talked to him. He was a nice guy. But like... I didn't see a black man until I was already a man. She's also like the whitest chick. That's so funny. The North is all white walkers. 4 white people discuss racism. That's the best way to discuss racism, though.
North of England is a really long way to come, especially Newcastle. If you arrive in London
there's a Newcastle in Australia. I've been there.
The capital city, and you're looking for work. In Newcastle we have a massive Chinese community. I mean, so I grew up knowing. I remember there was a fear of people.
Notice she has all her jewelry.
Different colour. It's not.
Wait, what did you say?
Remember, there was a fear of people.
Oh, I thought you said a field. There's a fear of people with different skin colour.
Skin was of a different colour. It's not. People would say that is racism. Now they'd class it as racism. It wasn't. It was a fear of the unknown.
Of course.
And I remember my dad was a member of a working men's club, and we had a black guy would come in there, and my dad, sort of. I remember him looking at him, and then someone attacked him. Someone verbally attacked this guy in the club.
That's not an attack, I guess, but okay.
Yeah, because of his colour. And the whole of the club, I'm telling you, because this guy was a regular, rounded on this person who was a stranger and literally took him to the car park and gave him a bit of a battering, which I was...
Her father had loads of black friends.
Really proud of them for that, because they were a bit unsure. And then it's just about getting to know. It's about acceptance, and once you do, it's fine. We should have moved on a long way since then. And but I think the story is sick. We have. But this story, to say the countryside is racist and colonial, is nonsense.
I think it is nonsense because, like, coloured people or non-white British people can move to the countryside if they want to, but they want to live in London. They want to live in the cities. Like, there's nobody stopping them except, I mean, it's very expensive, I suppose, to live in some of the countryside. It depends where you are, obviously, but like they can do it if they want to.
I'm really struggling with it. I look at the countryside, it's green. That's what the countryside is.
That's the only colour that matters, chat, green.
It's green, it's rural, there are haystacks, there are fields. It is not a white only enclave.
I mean,
What's this guy suggest? Like, we need more people. Is this guy actually saying that he wants more people of color working in the fields? It's kind of based, actually. We need, when I go to the countryside, the hay bales, it's all white people. We need to see more colors in the fields. This is such a funny conversation.
And if people of ethnicity choose not to go into the countryside, whose fault is that?
But I think it's two things, isn't it? you know, if you've been brought up in a family of several generations, maybe of ethnic minority family, and you've never gone because you initially, maybe 50 years ago, felt you couldn't go, then generationally you probably won't do it because you haven't set that trend in your family.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I mean, if I go, you know,
but that's
being
their
from the
issue,
north,
isn't
and
it?
maybe Carol, you feel the same, but going to the south as a northerner is a huge thing when you're young. You really feel like you're a proper outsider.
You
Everybody
really
wants
do.
you there, you know.
Oh my. I went from London to Glasgow and I bought the spice bag and I felt like I was in a different country. The British, the Irish, they call me funny Londoner. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go to London one day. I've got to go to England and have fun. I think I have a lot of fun in England.
Kind of from the poor north and all this.
Do you think that's because you thought the people in the south will think we're posher than you?
Yeah, always. And they always have more money than us because of the way the house prices work.
Yeah.
I remember one time going on holiday to Cornwall with my family and saying to Mum when I was about 9 years old, Mum, can we move down south? That was the phrase. And she said, no, love, people like us can't move down south. And then it's a perpetuating thing.
And there will be some very urban areas which are pretty...
Oh my goodness. Glasgow's in a different country to London. No, it's all the same. Don't give me this bullshit. Britain is one country, okay? That's why it's Great Britain. Oh, Scotland's a different country. No. It's the same, okay? It's connected... Well, okay, never mind. I was about to felt myself by saying that it's connected to London via mainland, but I guess all of Europe is too. I guess this is what I get for living on an island my entire life.
Pretty much monocultures that me as a white woman, there will be cafes in some parts of Edgware Road that I would be...
This is unironically true, though. They're all filthy Anglos.
Deemed to be
where you get the
unusual.
smell of the smell, the
smell.
But I guess the difference is...
Did he just say the smell? What does he mean by that?
Where you get the smell of the smell, the
pipe.
pipe.
But I guess the difference is it's nicer to access the countryside. Everybody needs green space. The benefits of mental health and physical health are untold, right? So that's...
This is true, actually. Like, if you go into the countryside, you get some greenery. It makes you feel better. There's an idea between both green and blue healing, where big bodies of water make the mind feel better. So, I mean, good luck finding a blue body of water in England. It's just like brown Thames or whatever. But, like, you know, the green countryside, it does make your mind feel, like, relaxed. They actually, I think it's called, like, some Japanese word for it, like forest bathing, like Shinrin-yu or something like that, which means just going to the forest makes you feel better. But apparently only white people can do it.
Kind of why we have to sort it out.
Yeah.
Well,
there might be some ethnic minorities, people going, we're not that bothered about going and walking on a windy day, thank you, on a beach. You can keep it to yourself.
Oh my goodness, chat. What do you think? Do you think that the countryside is too white? Rural officers across England have signed up to plans aimed at making the British countryside more ethnically diverse. Oh my goodness, they're making it woke. Under a wide-ranging initiative coordinated by the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. Protected landscapes across the country, including the Chilterns, Cotswolds, and Malvern Hills, have adopted diversity targets designated to attract more ethnic minority visitors to areas traditionally dominated by white middle-class Britons. The push follows the DEFRA Commission research, warning that the British natural heritage risks becoming irrelevant as the country grows increasingly multicultural. See, people keep telling me that Japan is getting browned, and that I have to be concerned about that, but that's not the case. But now you've got literal reports about them going to be making the British countryside more inclusive. Natural landscapes formed as areas of outstanding natural beauty. Like, that's in the Cotswolds, actually. I know this from literally watching Clarkson's Farms. Like, basically, like, they want to keep them, like, nice and beautiful so you can go there and enjoy them. That's why they don't want to build new shit there. And you have to, like, there's all these, like, building regulations, and you can't make too much light so you can see the stars and stuff like that. And their partner councils have now committed to concrete measures to address what officials describe as an imbalance. In the Chilterns, engagement programs have been developed specifically to target Muslim communities in nearby Luton. Recruitment drives will prioritize increasing workforce diversity, while promotional materials will feature ethnic minority individuals. This will be funny. Like, this is just content for the future, because we know it's going to be hilarious, like that British game where there was that Amelia chick. It'll be translated into multiple community languages, hopefully including English. Research commissioned by the DAFRA also examined practical barriers that may deter certain groups from visiting rural areas. You mean like fences? What do you mean? Practical barriers? What do you mean by that? One recommendation suggests dogs should be kept under stricter control, citing fears of animals amongst... So it's just to appease Muslims, essentially, because they think that dogs are dirty. The Malvern Hills National Landscape said many minority peoples have no connection into the nature in the UK because their parent or grandparents did not feel safe enough to take them or had other survival preoccupations. It added, most white English users value the solitude and contemplative activities of the countryside affords. The tendencies for ethnic minority people is to prefer social company, family, friends, schools. In 2019, report overseen by Gillian Glover warned that national landscapes could feel exclusionary. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. You see this and it just makes you terrified. Oh no. This is like, there's racism and then there's real racism. When you see 3 white people walking 2 dogs down a country road and they're just going to say good morning to you. You know how friendly these people are. They're just like, oh, hello there, love. How are you going up there? We're all paying for the national landscapes through our taxes. And yet sometimes on our visits, it is felt as if the national parks are exclusive. Mainly white. Mainly middle-class club. The report said. It cautioned. Our countryside will bring up being irrelevant to the country that actually exists. In 2022, DAFRA commissioned a £100,000 study titled at Improving the Ethnic Diversity of Visitors to England's Protected Landscapes. The research found that first-generation immigrants often perceive protected areas as space designated for white middle-class people. Well, that's because... Never mind. You can just go there. Like you're allowed to walk through these fences. It's fun. It's good. You can do it. Oh dear. See, this is the Clarkson's farm looks like this. The Cotswolds. I think this may actually be one of the bars that they went to there. Anyway, chat. Anyway, they are correct. Stay out. The thing is, the countryside is some of the most inclusive places in the entire world. Like, people are so friendly. You can just go and talk. Like, if you go for a walk in the countryside, people just say hello to you and stuff. It's great. If you go for a walk in London, you're liable to get stabbed. I would argue that the countryside is already more inclusive, but people just don't want to go there. Anyway, following up this story, we have the piece de resistance that I found, because people have been demanding more dinosaur content, and they rage quitted the other dinosaur game after 4 streams of the Isle. And I found this channel, Jonesy, and he has these videos. Dinosaurs that were most likely to say the N-word. Dinosaurs that were most likely to say the N-word again. Dinosaurs that were most likely to be on the Epstein list, allegedly. Baryonyx is fucking on the Epstein list. I don't care what you say about it. Dinosaurs that are most likely to have the N-word past tier list. So let's take a look at this video. This might be a fun way to end the stream. I guarantee you, Triceratops, he says the N-word. I think like T-Rex. T-Rex probably says it, but like when he's singing his favorite song and not in public. I bet Stegosaurus is like a liberal. This is peak slop. Yes, it is. All right. Disclaimer. Everything you're about to see is fact-checked and proven true by scientists. Everything is based off fossil evidence and sourced from real studies. Paleontologists agree 100% with all the information in this video. So this is true and real content. Myosaur says the hard R. Absolutely.
It's that time of the year. Everyone say Merry Christmas.
All right, we're going to vote on this chat. All right. So this is a T-Rex. He says it. Okay, so the T-Rex, does he say it daily? Is he racist? Is he a dark humor friend? Is he said only with friends? Is it only in voice chat? Is he a good boy or extreme leftist? Like I said, I think the T-Rex is probably only says it with friends or like dark humor or something. That's why I'm going to go with this on the T-Rex.
It's that time of the year. We're going to rank dinosaurs on how racist they were. We're not rating dinosaurs on how racist they are. We are rating dinosaurs on how likely they were to say the N-word. That type 5. So
wait, no, I want to go back.
We are rating dinosaurs on how likely they were to say the N-word.
What a concept. Like, why couldn't I think of this video? This is so simple. I should have invented this. But it just never occurred to me.
T-Rex would be like only with friends. He seems menacing and shit, but he is kind of a gentle giant if you don't, if you don't poke.
I think this is true. I think this is real. I think this is a good place for him on the tier list.
The sleeping bear is what I'm trying to say. He only uses it with friends, right? Like if he sees his brother, the Spinosaurus, he's like, "What's good, my N-word?" That's what they did.
We know that Spinosaurus is confirmed hard R user. Like that's just obvious.
Did in Jurassic Park 3, if you didn't know. So only with friends is, I think, the best tier for the T-Rex. I already said the name, but the Spinosaurus, which is an interesting pick because...
It absolutely says it daily. The Spinosaurus is a racist, 100%.
Spinosaurus is found in North Africa, which leads me to believe that...
But that means he's allowed to say it, though. He's got the
Spinosaurus was black. So I'm gonna go ahead and use...
I don't know about that, though. Because the Egyptians are from Africa, too. But they're not necessarily black. Do you think the Spinosaurus was black, chat? I mean, he definitely says it daily. But I don't know if I'm not sure if the Spinosaurus is black coded. I mean, for one thing, the Spinosaurus can swim. So right away, I don't think he's black. It just doesn't make sense. Like, he's a water dweller.
And put it in daily, he probably used the N-word daily. Onto the Allosaurus, which...
Allosaurus. I feel like Allosaurus could be a bit of a gamer. He might say it only in voice chat, but maybe a bit of dark humor. He's kind of like a smaller T-Rex, right?
Okay, Allosaurus I'm a bit torn on, because Allosaurus leads me to believe that it's, I don't know, it gives me like light skin type vibes. But this picture, the one from...
I've been waiting to watch this video for so long. This is my first viewing of it, by the way.
I don't remember the series, but that one documentary.
I didn't want to spoil
Walking with Dinosaurs. Thank you. I don't know. It seems.
Oh, by the way, there's a new dinosaur documentary coming out with I believe it's got Morgan Freeman as the narrator. It's Netflix's The Dinosaurs, so that should be fun to watch.
Like a dark humor fiend. That picture, it looks like a dark humor, someone who likes dark humor and uses Instagram Reels daily, but it's.
I don't know about Allosaurus addicted to slop content. I could see it, I suppose.
Feels like it's like light skin. I don't know. It gives light skin vibes, but seeing as this picture just looks like someone who enjoys edgy and dark humor, it leads me to believe that he's in the dark humor fiend tier. This is not going very well. Holy shit! But we also have the.
No, I think it's going very well. It's going very well so far.
With the broken jaw from Dinosaur Revolution, he goes into the good boy tier. He's a good boy. So on to
Allosaurus with a broken teeth. I don't know about that. All right, so some of the they have the dinosaur with the 500 teeth, chat. So the list that we have is we have the T-Rex, the Spino, the Allo, the Triceratops, the Ankylosaurus, the Carnotaurus. I don't know what Majunga is. That definitely is that's definitely black coded. I don't know what the Char is. Raptor, Dilo, Brachiosaurus, Parasaurus, Stegosaurus, and the one with 500 teeth.
the next one, which is Triceratops. When I think of a
Triceratops, absolutely says Hadar. If you've ever watched The Land Before Time, you know that three horns don't hang around with long necks, okay? If you ever saw Sarah's dad, he absolutely was yelling the hard R. This is like either daily or racist here for the Triceratops.
Triceratops,
Guaranteed.
I don't think about the Jurassic Park Triceratops, but I think about the Triceratops from Land Before Time, which is this guy. Editor, put it on screen. I believe that even though it's not canon, it looks racist. So
no, that's 100% confirmed canon.
Triceratops, probably racist. You know, herbivores, they are usually seen as like calm and gentle giants and all of that nonsense.
Have you ever talked to a vegan before? They're not calm.
Pacifists, but they're not. Triceratops just gives me hippo vibes, and hippos, they also give me racist vibes. So, Triceratops, racist. Ankylosaurus. Now, Ankylosaurus
are kind of chads. I like ankylosaurs. I think they're better than Stegosauruses. I don't know whether he probably says it in voice chat.
I'm a bit torn on as well. First of all, the Ankylosaurus gives me like chill guy, you know, gentle giant vibes, but...
No, what? He's got a big ass fucking ball on his tail. I don't know about that. Like, the Ankylosaurus is around breaking jaws.
Also, racist uncle vibes, you know? The racist uncle that just chain smokes like 10 packs a day, and he's always talking about immigrants.
Ankylosaurus is my dad's favorite dinosaur, by the way.
That kind of vibe. But, a chill guy or racist, it really depends on who you ask, right? But when I think of Ankylosaurus, I think of that one dinosaur from Disney's Dinosaurs, is what I'm trying to say. So, Ankylosaurus, even though... You know, it could be racist. It could also.
I guess I should put a banner up so people that are joining the stream don't get catfished. Also, it'll just be very funny. Let me see. What? Dino said. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now it's a professional stream. The current topic. What dinosaur said the N-word? The most. Because so far all of them are saying it. Except for maybe there's broken Jordan Ankylosaurus.
Just be a really chill guy. And Kylosaurus, only with friends. Next up, Carnotaurus.
I don't know, but I think I'm okay with this. I think that Ankylosaurus would probably say it in voice chat, but only with friends makes sense. Carnotaurus. Carnotaurus I really don't like them. Because they're like, I've probably died to the Carnotaurus on the aisle more than any other dinosaur. They look racist though. They look aggressive. They look like they're always yelling. I'm going to say that he's daily or racist.
Now, Carnotaurus, you know, he's that one friend you have that always sends those just the most outrageous Instagram reels. So, definitely Dark Humor Fiend. I'm not gonna explain myself. So, okay, Carnotaurus, Dark Humor Fiend. That's.
I think we agree with this list so far. More or less. I mean, every dinosaur except this good boy Allosaurus, that's kind of a cope though, because like the other Allosaurus is already a Dark Humor Fiend. So every dinosaur is saying the N-word so far, which I think is true.
Confirmed, it's canon, it's in all of the fossils ever found of a Carnotaurus. They watched Instagram reels. It's all very true.
Which train would say the hard R? Gordon.
True. Okay, on to the next one. Majungasaurus. Majungasaurus.
What do we think about Majungasaurus, chat? I feel like he says it, but only because he's got the pass, if you know what I mean.
Is found in Madagascar, I believe, or at least in Africa. If it wasn't, I would put it here, but seeing as it is found in Africa, it gets to go in daily tier. Carcharodontosaurus. Well, it's the same story.
Sounds like an Asian dinosaur. So they probably say it, but in voice chat, because they're playing games all day.
It's found in North Africa as well. This documentary, Planet Dinosaur, Dinosaur Planet, something like that. It's a cool looking Carcharodontosaurus. I really like Carcharodontosaurus. It's a really difficult name to say like 5 times back to
Carcharodontosaurus? That seems okay.
Back, but I like Carcharodontosaurus. Carcharodontosaurus. I really like it, but seeing as it's found in Africa, you probably would have used it daily. Okay, next up is the Velociraptor.
What are we thinking for Velociraptor, chat? Now, real Velociraptors are very small, like the size of a chicken. They're not like the ones at Jurassic Park. Ironically, the Dilophosaur is more like the Velociraptor size in real life. I feel like they're tiny. So they're going to be like cowardly. Voice chat? Only with friends? Good boy?
I think Velociraptor, he's kind of a good boy. The Jurassic Park Velociraptors would definitely be somewhere in the upper tiers, but I think this raptor, the feathered raptor, the same one.
I agree with that actually. Like this is a good take. Like those Jurassic, like you just know that when those Jurassic Park Velociraptors, like they run towards the kitchen and they get like they run and they headbutt the reflection of Tim when he's hiding himself in the dumbwaiter or whatever it is. You just know they let out a hard yar after that. But this one with like this feathered shit dinosaur, like that's a good boy right there. But those Jurassic Park ones, the second those kids start like throwing spoons on and lock him in the he gets locked in the fridge, he says it for sure, 100%.
We saw in Prehistoric Planet, that raptor would definitely be in this tier. So I'm gonna put it only in voice chat. You know, he's like that one good friend you have that just always nice, always polite. But once he's in game, he just lets it rip, you know. Next up, Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus.
This is my favorite dino at the currently. I feel like the Dilophosaurus would say it daily. Now, he was the apex predator of his time, the largest carnivore in North America, as I understand it. He's got to say it daily because he's such a Chad.
Is my favorite dinosaur, so it's gonna be in this tier. No. Dilophosaurus is my favorite dinosaur, but I'm gonna be unbiased here and say that it's probably in this one or in this one. Definitely not this one, definitely not this one, maybe this one, but I believe the Dilophosaurus, you know, is kind of the apex predator of the time.
What did I fucking say? I promise you I did not pre-watch this video. I just know all of the Dilophosaurus facts.
He is kind of rough, you know, so he definitely liked the dark humor.
I would put him higher. I would put Dilophosaur up here or on daily.
Type shit. Dilophosaurus, dark humor fiend. Brachiosaurus. Now Brachiosaurus is what
I think that Brachiosaurus has to be only in voice chat because his head is so far away from the rest of the dinosaurs. If he yells it, they won't be able to hear him. So like he has to wear like a headset so that he can communicate it. So he has to be like only in voice chat for the Brachiosaurus.
Triceratops thinks it is, right? The Brachiosaurus is definitely a gentle giant type creature, but no, Brachiosaurus, I put it like in good boy tier or girl.
I disagree. I think he's saying it all the time, but his head's so far away from the ground that nobody can hear him. That's why he needs the voice chat. He needs the microphone. He needs Xbox
possible.
Live.
Parasaurolophus. Now, Parasaurolophus.
I think Parasaurolophus, isn't it? I thought it was Pariacephalosaur. Paras, I feel like they're extreme leftists or good boys. They're like herbivores. They're sitting around in the swamp all day just eating grass and shit. This is your liberal friend that you kind of hate. He's cringe, but you hang around with him anyway because you're friends in high school.
With this blue horn, I believe that it's in this one. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, being...
I feel like I know this guy. Like, I've always had every single take right so far. I feel like my Dino knowledge is being perfect so far. I was prepared for this.
Extremist, there is something wrong with being extremist.
He's a blue
but there's
hair,
nothing wrong with being left-leaning. Parasaurolophus, left.
I disagree.
Stegosaurus. Now, Stegosaurus...
I feel like Stegosaurus is a good boy or an extreme leftist. Stegosaurus have that big tail. What is that? The Thagomizer. But they're kind of pussies, in my opinion. So I feel like he's either a good boy or extreme leftist.
Also chill guy vibes, but also kind of like here, probably only in voice chat when, you know, he kind of like rages like he's playing Rocket League or shit, like League of Legends type shit. Those
disagree slightly, but I'll accept it.
Games will make you say the N-word, and that's why I don't play any of those games, by the way. I just want to make that clear. Stegosaurus, only in voice chat. Now we have the
dinosaur with 500 teeth. The Nigersaurus. There is no way the Nigersaurus doesn't say it daily. I will stake my entire claim that the Nigersaurus has an N-word pass.
I don't...
So there you go. The classic Nigersaurus with 500 teethers.
The Nigersaurus. Yeah. Easiest here. It's found in Africa, in the country Niger, I think. I don't know.
What does Niger mean, chat? What does Niger mean? Translate that word for me.
If that's how you pronounce it. I think it is a French pronunciation, since it used to be like a French colony and shit. Nigersaurus, he would use it daily. Yeah. Next up, we have a Giganotosaurus, another Carcharodontosaurid. I like...
Giganotosaurus. It's like the largest land predator of all time or some shit. Or was the T-Rex slightly larger? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure Giganotosaurus was supposed to be the largest predator. But then some people argue that the T-Rex was larger. So I guess it depends on the Giga in question. I feel like he's this is a hard call actually. I don't know what to say. I feel like he's very similar to the T-Rex, but I'm gonna say he's racist.
Carcharodontosaurids, they're really cool. And not really gentle giant vibes, but also not racist vibes.
I don't know about that.
Giganotosaurus, probably a dark humor fiend. Now we have another Giga, but this one is the one from the Jurassic World Rebirth movie. It's racist.
Alright, yeah, the juvenile ones are always going to be saying it because they're trying to be edgy. That makes sense.
I fucking hate it, and it's racist. Now we have a Therizinosaurus. Also kind of chill guy vibes, but...
I don't know about where this would place on this list, but this is absolutely a dinosaur that would be on the Epstein flight list. Like, just look at those child-grabbing fingers that he has.
With those claws, kind of like edgy, so probably only with friends. If you've played Ark before, you know that these things are absolute menaces, that they are so extremely territorial that they destroy and kill everything in sight. So it's not really gentle giant type vibes for me, but Therizinosaurus only with friends, that's probably the perfect fit. Next up we have the Therizinosaurus from Jurassic World Dominion again.
This thing was really cool actually. Like, those are terrible movies, but there was some really cool vibes. I was like, what the fuck is this thing? This one from the Jurassic Park movies, he's absolutely saying it daily or racist. Like, he's like your blind grandpa. It's like, what are them boys doing out there in my yard? Them damn. And then he just says it like harder. He goes hard on it, I think.
It's racist. I mean, look at that. It's fucking racist. He would say it in the most racist and unapologetic way possible. Same goes for the Pachycephalosaurus. Probably a neo-Nazi racist type vibes. So Pachycephalosaurus.
Is it because he's a skinhead? Is that why the Pachycephalosaurus is racist? Because he's got a bald shaved head? That seems like a typecast. Maybe he's just, they don't start out bald like that. They start off with horns and then they disappear. They used to think there was two different dinosaurs. The juvenile Pachys look totally different from the adult Pachys. So maybe he's just like, he's got like Reaper Maxed or something.
Definitely racist, definitely uses it with the hard R. Next up we have the Suchomimus, which is another dinosaur found in Africa, which leaves me...
So Suchomimus is, isn't it the same family as the Spinosaurus? Like this aren't like the Spinosaurus, the Suchomimus, and the Baryonyx. They're all Spinosaurs like family. So I feel like you'd be saying it quite often.
To believe that it's also black. Suchomimus would use it daily. On to the next one. Gallimimus. Gallimimus is either this one or this one.
Gallimimus is extreme leftist. This is the chick that gets mad if you say anything and like stands up and says, "Oh my god, you need to leave."
But I think the Gallimimus is more of an extreme leftist, performative male type shit, you know? He probably reads poetry books or books about feminist culture, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to clarify, there's nothing wrong with that, right? He probably listens to Claro or like Biba Doobie or, you know, that type shit. Nothing wrong with that, of course, but that's perfect for the Gallimimus. On to the next one. Ceratosaurus. Ceratosaurus, it's kind of a cut.
I hate fucking Ceratosauruses. They're rats. I don't know what this one will say, but I know what I would call this one.
It lived with the Allosaurus, but it's less menacing than the Allosaurus, especially in that time period. Probably only in voice chat. Being a cuck, he would probably only use it in voice chat.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Ceratosauruses being cucks. They run around and get their bile bites. They're just like, they're disgusting. I hate these creatures.
Because he doesn't want to step on anyone's toes too much, you know? He doesn't want to draw too much attention to himself. So probably...
Yes, the Licholotopus is the lesbian dinosaur, that's true.
Only in voice chat. Sometimes he just lets it rip, but not too often. Next up we have a Tarbosaurus. Tarbosaurus found in Mongolia, I think? Somewhere in Asia. The Asian T-Rex.
It's like, oh okay, it's the Asian T-Rex. It's like the knockoff. Temu T-Rex. Nah, it probably says it in voice chat.
It lived in the desert, which would lead me to believe it's black. But, you know, seeing as all these dinosaurs are found in Africa, and this one is found in Asia, I would say that it wasn't. So, Tarbosaurus...
Hey, there's a lot of racist Asians.
Even though it lived in the desert, it would probably only be a dark humor fiend. Next up, Oviraptor. Oviraptor is interesting, in my opinion.
Oviraptor is another dinosaur that's confirmed for the Epstein flight list. Because they're egg thieves, right? Like Oviraptor. I feel like he's an extreme leftist, but he's actually secretly racist, like all extreme leftists are.
It could be this one, good boy, but I would think Oviraptor would be an extreme leftist who doesn't or never uses it, you know, which is not, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to say that that's a good thing, right? You want to be in these two tiers. The Iguanodon. This one is the Iguanodon from Dinosaur.
The Iguanodon is kind of base because it's got those two fingers that like stab you with a thumb. So this is like the knife you dinosaur. So I feel like you would say it.
Disney's Dinosaur. I would believe that it's on this tier, because the Iguanodon, it's kind of a menace. It wasn't racist, he only uses it with friends, you know, when he dabs up his Carcharodontosaurus brother, even though they lived in different time periods, he would probably say the N-word as like a joke. Next up, we have the Pegomastax.
You can't tell me this is not a racist dinosaur. There's no way. Well, you look like this. You got a beak and this like spiny hair. He absolutely says it.
The Pegomastax, racist. As someone that has played Ark for a big part of his life, the Pegomastax is racist. No further explanation. Okay, next up we have the Concavinator, which I think is an underrated dinosaur. It does.
I've never heard of this one before, so I'm gonna leave this as the viewer's choice. Concavinator. I've never heard of that one.
Doesn't get enough love. It deserves more.
The Cyraxosaurus. It does remind me of Cyrax. He's actually kind of very Cyrax coded.
Probably only uses it with friends, but maybe it's a good boy. No, he only uses it with voice chat. He's not too much of a dark humor fiend. He probably only lets it rip in like League of Legends or something. So Concavinator only in voice chat. Okay, we're at the last few. This one, the Nanuqsaurus, a dinosaur that has gained a lot of popularity over the years, mostly due to Prehistoric Planet. It looked amazing.
Looks like a furry T-Rex. I feel like this guy's a furry. Maybe he doesn't say it, but he's definitely a furry.
In that series, or
definitely a PirateSoftware viewer.
Series. In that documentary, I think it's an amazing dinosaur. I don't really know too much about it, but I think the Nanuqsaurus is probably in this tier. He probably uses it with his friends. You know, he dabs up the Spinosaurus. What's good, my...
I'm noticing that a lot of dinosaurs use the R. Use the hard R. Like, there's more dinosaurs using the N-word than there are not. Which makes sense.
Nanuqsaurus, and you know, he just goes on with his day. He thinks that's fucking hilarious, just like all of the other ones in this tier. Nanuqsaurus, he only uses it with friends. So the last one we have on this list is the memecopium. I just wanted to put this on the list because it has such an awesome name. I don't know too much about this dinosaur, but I know that it definitely is a dark humor fiend. I mean, Death Shadow, holy schmoly.
Memecopium means large-chested death shadow. That's kind of cool. I think this is confirmed for Echoes of Extinction, which did meet its funding goals, so they'll be making the live action server soon.
That's a fucking awesome name, first of all. So my Microthorax, definitely a dark humor fiend, definitely watches gore in class, definitely sends those gore videos to friends in classroom, definitely watches Instagram Reels and thinks every racist song or video is funny. It's in the fossils, don't blame me. This is all canon, this is all according to dinosaur knowledge that we have today.
This is actual paleontology right here we're witnessing.
But yeah, my Microthorax, dark humor fiend. Okay, so that concludes the list for now. If you guys want a part 2 for some reason.
Is there anything missing from this? What about the marine reptiles? The mosasaur is definitely going to say hard R. That's for sure. What about ichthyosaurs or pleodorons or things like that? T-Rex's old nickname was actually Supreme Overlord of the World. Why is he laughing like it ain't serious? Some people they can't take serious topics seriously, you know how it is. This is just science. There's no way to argue. Like, this is scientifically accurate list, exactly. I mean, I got so many of these right, I'm actually pretty chuffed with myself. I guarantee you, though, that the Dilophosaurus is saying it daily. There's no way he isn't.
Reason. Don't forget to leave a comment and a like, but this is probably the best list ever made in human history. I mean, come on. Like I said before, this is all based on scientific knowledge. It's all fact-checked by paleontologists, and they all agreed with me before publishing this video. There's gonna be a video from paleontologist reacts to dinosaur racism tier list.
I'd give this clip about an 8.
I don't even know why I made this video in the first place, but, you know...
I'll give it an 8, mate.
You know what? It's very funny. I really enjoyed recording this, and it gives me another video to upload before I upload the big.
Maybe we'll check out these more Jonesy videos at a later date, because he has some more. He has this is like dinosaur content is pretty hard to do. Like most of these videos are like 1,000 views, 700 views, 900 views, 60,000. Well, this one's like dinosaurs that loved dinosaurs most likely to be on the Epstein list, so that one got more views. Might check that out next time. That's Jonesy if you want to go check it out. That's Jones with or Jones number 2 maybe. Jones the second. The certified racist dinosaurs more like there's the second list, the second group of them. We might check that out. These ones have the N-word pass. That's an interesting one, but I think that what a concept for a video. Why can't I think about these sort of videos? All right, chat. That's all I got for you today. We probably, I don't know if there's anything to do tomorrow. Maybe we'll play the fishing game again on the other channel. I've got to fish up some mermaids and shit. We've got about an hour left of that game, I think. A lot of fun and very human-like skin on some of those fish. So, you know, you can ask the question, would you? But that's all for today. Peace. Have a good one. See you.